Hey guys, welcome back to Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons. Woo! Hey
Whoa.
guys. Yeah. Hey everybody. Name's Eric here. I'm the DM here at Black Tower Stories. Here in our group are currently going through our current campaign, The Adventures in Athoria. Um, we are actually on chapter 126, if I remember correctly.
C. That's Spanish.
126C.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. 126. Now, last session in chapter 125, our party, the Knights, Silver Knights of the Mythal, spent some time in the Feywild, back in autumn, where Yandre, Ari's character, is from, in hopes of trying to actually collect the Horn of the Hunt, to further the group's goal to reunite the head of Cernunnos, the Horned Lord, with the body, currently in its incarnation of Black Crom, to restore that kind of rift and sort of instability in the Fey realm of Autumn, and hopefully use that new connection to lay a whole bunch of revenge on the Pumpkin King, because he's an asshole and basically ruins everything he touches. Um, and also basically uh, made Yandre a refugee who had to seek asylum in the Prime. So, after you guys snuck in to the castle, Yandre heard uh, a little bit of the Pumpkin King's plans, which caused him to reprioritize, steal the horn, GTFO, and then summon Cernunnos and the Wild Hunt in the middle of the capital of Air Ariellen, which actually turned out not horrible. But you did field some complaints from the local adventuring guild, who not only took some offense to the idea of summoning an archfey and a small army into the heart of the city, but also the fact that you were even able to do that to begin with. Um, so a bit of a peace was brokered, a deal which allows the guild to have a certain amount of additional oversight as to your actions, and in return for them getting to continue to, shall we say, exploit your talents, they would provide some additional cover from the local constabulary, who fears that you guys have grown too powerful, especially Calum, who is a mage of far greater skill than most members of their own government. Um, Nonetheless, you guys have spent
Those are
the last.
bitches.
Get good,
Yeah,
scrub.
well, yeah. I mean, they're a magiocracy of mages. It's basically a bad anime plot. Um, so, you guys have spent the last couple days kind of incognito, keeping the profile low, so to speak, to let everything kind of blow over, before you guys start trying to figure out exactly what it is you guys are going to do next. Note that at this point in time, Cernunnos the Horned Lord has not summoned you back to Autumn yet. Perhaps a little curious, considering, I mean, there's a bit of a time difference between the two, but I don't know. Whatever you guys think about that. And so at this point in time, that means we are on the 60th day of the second seed, and the more day is yours.
So we're back at our residence.
Sweet Nut Manor.
Yes.
Okay. So what Yandre will do is first go check on Kilmac and see if he's decided he wanted to make any breakfast this morning, or if he's just rummaging around.
Yeah, we will say Kelmac has gone full breakfast chef mode because he doesn't really have much else to do.
Great. Well, then I will prepare lesser restoration as well.
Yeah, just if it gets much worse, he's going to start scratching the furniture.
And then Yandere will make his rounds. Just, I believe, heading up. Nobody else is on the main floor with me.
Yeah, except for Kelmac.
Except for Calmac. And so I would go upstairs. Probably the first person that's accessible is probably Calum, if I'm looking at these right.
His room would be at the top of the stairs.
Okay, well then I would go check on Calum.
He's dead.
Hello?
Are you free?
Yeah, and I'll open the door and greet him at the front.
Close the door.
Yandere, as you kind of close the door behind you, you see Calum's room is even more disheveled than usual. There are a number of hastily scrawn pieces of parchment tacked up along his wall, and it looks as though he has stacked a whole bunch of pages on top of each other, kind of like a collage, with a half-finished magical circle and numerous notes and symbols along the edges.
How have you been sleeping?
Off and on. Pretty good, but I generally don't sleep all at once.
Do you at least get the recommended time, or are you doing a lot of arts and crafts?
Yeah, I get the recommended 4 hours for else.
4? You're human.
Yes, but I've had a lot of things on my mind, and the only way I can get them out of my head is just get them on paper, and that's what I'm doing.
You haven't gotten incredibly close to your book friend, have you?
You do know that I'm right here. That's Yandere. He kind of puts his face in through the wall as he's standing out on the veranda.
And he's like holding a quill with a mage hand.
I'm worried about you.
Why?
And then Yandere just kind of like looks around at all of the sprawled out papers, the half finished notes, the lack of sleep, the bags under Caleb's eyes. Like,
Question. Every other wizard that you have ever seen, do they not look just like this?
no. Master Valerian doesn't look like that. Your father doesn't look like this. Quite honestly, all of the archmages or higher hedge wizards that you've introduced us to look like they get sleep.
That's fair.
They have apprentices.
Yes. And I am just one individual trying to
So
create.
okay. What are you doing?
I'm working on a spell. I'm trying to create the spell.
Congrats, I get that. What are you working on?
It's in the early stages. I wouldn't like to reveal that just yet.
So you could potentially blow us up and our house, and I'm supposed to just breeze on by that and just kind of accept, yeah, hey, you're just working on something new and want to be secretive about it.
If I were to put power into the spell, that would be one thing. Right now, I'm working on just theoretical. And as you can see, the magic circle right there is completely haphazard and on different pages, it wouldn't work. All of this is just theoretical of the mind, getting it out of my brain and onto paper. Now, if I were to actually sprawl it on the floor and actually put power into it, that would be a different story.
Caleb, I want to trust you really badly. I really do. But you have a knack for doing things, rituals specifically, and not always being 100% successful at them. And so these are written rituals that were kind of follow step by step. And right now you're crafting your own.
Yes, and I would also like to point out that ever since my rituals have gone haywire, I have taken every precaution and been around everyone else whenever I do create things or alter spells.
Caleb,
Yes,
can you tell me which rituals you've done successfully? Quickly.
rituals of ascertainment. I've done many of them correctly. I've summoned a DM. I forget what the term was for the paladin that we summoned down. Avatar.
Yeah.
I
To be
s-
fair,
Was that successful though?
Yes, it was.
you can say that you have failed. I think only 2 or 3 rituals.
I've only failed 2.
Yeah, it's like 2.
And
Granted, they were really bad, but there have been rituals before, and there have been rituals since.
The ones that I've been around for?
Well, you know, he's spoke to Morgren and Aromakai several times. Like,
I've talked to Morgan.
It's like I'm not
that's
impressed.
true.
yeah, you talked
Well,
to
I
Morgan
mean-
because I told her to talk.
Do better.
Do you want me to just talk to her myself?
But anyways, in terms of my rituals, I have done them many times and they have not failed. And the one that I did outside of the party that I almost had an issue with, I let you guys know, and you weren't even there for that. We had just met you. But
If I might provide a bit of calm to the conversation, I would say in this particular instance, I am helping young Master Calum, and I have far more experience in the study of spellcraft than he does.
Maylor, just so you know, that face right there means he does not trust you more than he does not trust me.
Yes, I forgot who I'm talking to.
He still thinks you're trying to take over my body.
Well, he knows I am not an undead or a spirit, so how he manages to think that I'm going to possess you. I am pure intellect. I do not have a soul. The absolute worst that I could accomplish at this particular moment is to simply download all of the knowledge and wisdom I have in my head into Caleb's brain.
Speaking.
That doesn't concern you.
Well, Master
memories.
Caleb. Yes, it's just memories.
And I
Besides,
would cast,
were he to attempt to assimilate that much knowledge at one point in time, his brain would likely melt.
At this point, Caleb starts laughing. That does not help.
Well, that should help a little bit, because we're not performing that particular ritual. And besides, the one we're working on at this particular moment is mostly just a creative riff on an already established spell. So the risk is quite minimal.
Yes.
Is this permanency thing that you were doing?
That I already know. That I've already.
Is this the other spell that you told your, what is it, Master Falerion to help you with?
No, that's clone. That we've already done.
So you're working on a different spell on top of the clone spell that you already have Master Valerion working on.
That's already done, but yes.
When did you finish the clone spell?
That same day that we were talking about it.
Is this also the same spell that you planned on using to give Maelor another body should he request it?
No, that's a completely different spell.
So this is a different spell on top of the clone spell on top of the other spell that you were working on.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with giving Maelor a body right now.
No.
Truly, it doesn't.
I'm going to come check on you here in about another hour or so. And I hope you will have gotten your shit together. And Yandere starts walking backwards towards the door, just kind of like looking at everything.
Don't step on the book. Thank you.
And yeah, Yandere basically Homer Simpson's back out of the room. And I was like, did he ever mention what it was he came here to talk to you about?
No. DeAndre! I'm going to run out the room. Came
Yeah.
here for... What do you need?
It's morning. Kelmec is making breakfast. I was coming up here to let you know that it's almost ready, but I've never been in your room to the point where it looked in that status, so got a little distracted.
Thank you
Thank you.
for letting me know the breakfast is almost ready.
Oh, because your room is appalling.
It's an organized mess.
Mess. Yes, I will take that as the operative word. Okay, cool. Great. Love that. I'm going to go check on everybody else. Again, hopefully in an hour when I come check on you, you'll have your shit together and we can go eat breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah. Wash your face.
Will do. And he goes back into the room.
I'll go to the next room, which I think is Volred's.
Yep. Well, yes, because you guys put a door in on that side, so.
Who is it?
It's Yandere.
You may enter.
Yandere jiggles the handle. I'm presuming it's locked because Volred always has his room locked.
No.
It's not. Yandere enters cautiously.
Are you ever going to stop jiggling the handle?
No. Are you ever going to put furniture in front of your door like I said to?
Whenever you stop jiggling the handle.
I really want to believe that, but I don't. So have you talked to Caleb recently? I know the answer is no, you don't really talk to. Have you? Has Caleb annoyed you recently?
Hold on. Quick to judge. I talk to Caleb all the time. We're practically best friends.
Best friends?
Sure.
Great. So what's going on with him then?
Oh, I'm not really sure. I've been paying attention to him lately.
There's going to be breakfast ready in a little bit. I would hope that you come downstairs and join us for it.
Well, I mean, of course. Kelmac's cooking has improved. Marginally.
Yes.
Does it look better than yesterday?
Looks better. But there was a bag of salt on the counter next to it, and so I'm a little concerned. But as we learn to tolerate things, we're going to have to be better about masking our emotions and our taste and to be supportive. So I prepared lesser restoration just in case.
Mm. That sounds great, whatever it is you just said. Let's go back to the salt part. What sort of salt did it look like?
I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention.
Mm. Likewise.
It was great talking to you, Vora.
Oh, but hold on, I do have a final question. What happens if you don't jiggle the handle?
I don't know. I haven't done it.
Maybe it's time to live a little carefree.
Or I can just continue doing exactly what I've done all the time.
You know, Yandere, it's probably a good thing. You seemed very focused around those around you. Sometimes it's good to pay attention to what's inside.
I will have you know this whole time Yandere has been looking at the ground.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because it sounds like you're making like a direct statement towards him. He is literally looking at the ground.
Hmm. Yandere, are you mad at me?
No, just uncomfortable.
Why?
I would prefer not to say. Are you going to be down for breakfast? I just want to make sure to tell Kelmac he's got enough plates ready to go.
Yes. I will be
Awesome.
there.
Great. I'm going to close the door now. Thank you. Yandere closes the door. Last room.
You hear the lock click as you walk away.
It's like, F that guy. You start hearing like furniture move around and some muffled noises. Like, shh, quiet down. I go and the door opens a little bit and I'm peeking out the side of it. Like, yeah.
Should I have breakfast ready for 1 or 2?
Damn, you're astute. I'm
that
feeling
passive insight
awfully
and perception?
hungry. You should probably make it for 2. Wait, is it Kelmac?
Yes.
Hold on. Hey, I know, but yeah, real hungry. 2 people for sure. You need so much.
Tell your
You
girl-
hear kind of a rustling as if something very heavy suddenly slipped onto the floor.
Are you okay? I mean, I should never put all of those clothes on such a high dresser.
Why are you trying to hide your girlfriend from everyone if she's here?
That's a good point. We'll be down in like 45 minutes. Is that good?
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Yeah. We know you have a girlfriend.
I know, but we don't normally hang out here. But
This is your home.
this is kind of new for me.
Having a girlfriend? Or having sex with your girlfriend at your home?
That part.
Okay. Well, if you would like, I can cast a silence spell in the area just so you can feel free to do whatever it is that you want to do.
No, because sometimes there's some words that are needed, and that makes it very hard. I mean, there's no one here, Yandere. Why are you being so intrusive? We've been out 45 minutes. I slowly close the door.
All right. Just when I thought things were going to start getting back to normal. I'm going to go back downstairs to my room. At this point, I will wait the 45 minutes because that's the quicker of the time frame. So I got 45 minutes in my room.
Okay. You do pause at the bottom of the kind of stairs as you make your way, because there is, the other section of stairs that leads down into the basement floor where the kitchens are located. And you do pause for a moment because the smell that's coming up the kitchen, up the staircase, actually smells pretty good. It's not delicious, but you're not smelling anything off.
Kelmac,
Yeah?
do you have someone down there helping you?
No, but I'm following the recipe in the book.
What book? Is it one of
What?
Caleb's books?
No, I can't read that shit.
I'm just making sure. Do we have a cookbook down there?
I got it from one of the ladies at the local tavern.
You went to the tavern?
You know, I go around whenever I walk and meet people and go places.
You made friends?
I mean, you're not the only people I spend time with.
We're not? This is all in the stairwell. I'm just
breakfast will be ready in about 20.
Yandere has this complete look of just utter shock. Like everything that has gone on this morning has just kind of wrecked him. It's like, I thought this was going to be a regular day. This is not a regular day. Everything is just.
Yep.
Calum has shit on the walls. Volred called Calum his best friend. Izal is like hunkering down with her girlfriend upstairs and is trying to hide the whole thing. And Kelmek is actually making edible food from a cookbook that he got from friends. This goes way past anything that I've known any of these people to be.
This might be an illusion. You should really punch
I
yourself.
was waiting for my wisdom save to roll.
Question. Did I miss out exactly how many days after the last session is this?
I just said like 2 or 3, unless you guys wanted more or less than that.
Cool.
Yeah, I said 2. No one gave me any stink face, so I was like, okay. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and add cook's utensils to Kelmac's proficiency now, because, yeah, why not?
Now I'm not the only one who can cook.
Okay. So Yandere, bewildered, returns to his room, closes the door.
Faints on the fainting couch. This is too much today.
It's called a chaise lounge,
Touché.
sir. You doing anything particular, or are you just waiting for the shock to wear off?
I'm waiting for the shock to wear off at this point.
Okay. All right. So, in about half an hour or so, you guys start to hear the little bells ring throughout the house from the galley below,
We have
letting you know. Yeah, you guys actually have some in your room as well.
We're learning so much. We've learned more in the past 20 minutes than we have in 3 years.
Well, that's not true. You guys learned that you had a basement and an attic.
That was the previous high of how much we had learned. Was we had other floors to this.
But
house.
let's be real here. You guys spend so little time in this house that, Yep.
We live here.
But
when we're
yes,
not on
before
the fair.
long, the service bells ring, letting you know that, I guess, apparently, breakfast is ready.
What the hell is that?
Yandere will appear from his room and begin to go downstairs to go check on Kelmac and the food that he's made.
Caleb will wake up from a power nap.
I said 45 minutes and I meant it. I got 25 to go.
Okay, that just means you get, like, the next round of waffles and pancakes.
Wait a second. He didn't say waffles and pancakes.
I didn't
Well,
say anything.
Zal has had plenty of
yeah,
waffles this
and
morning.
and surprisingly, there are muffins, waffles, pancakes, and what looks like strudel, filled with some kind of strawberry preserves, whom he says comes from the garden of your next door neighbor.
Did you let them know?
Yes.
All right.
Now, I will say, these don't look like amazing. It's definitely amateur home cook hour, but you can tell what they are.
Is it like when the first two kind of look pretty bad, but they progressively get better? It's like, I know to flip it at
Yeah.
this point.
For
Yep.
me, that's the case, and the last one is always better. I don't know.
Yeah, there's that, and then like you can look off to the side where there's like the wash basin, and he clearly used like three
Every
times
single
as many
dish in the
dishes.
house.
Yeah, like three times as many dishes as he needed. Um, but yeah, you can also kind of see over in the wastebasket. There's some what looks like your original breakfast that didn't turn out well, and kind of thrown in there along with some other shit on top to kind of hide it.
There's a reason it took an hour.
He got up at 3 in the morning. He's been doing some hard drugs, and it's just affecting his sleep schedule. And he bakes when he does it.
Thank you very much, Kelmac.
Hope it's good.
And I will not use prestidigitation because I'm actually going to try it.
Oh, I guess if we're doing this, let's go ahead and roll a cook's utensils here, and I'm gonna make this intelligence based since he's following a recipe. But since he's following a recipe, I'll give him advantage.
Let's go,
His
Kelmac.
intelligence is +0, so basically he just gets to add his proficiency. Wow. 18 plus 5 is 23. He learned a lot in that first batch. And yeah, this actually tastes really good. If you got this in a restaurant, you would definitely be willing to pay for this meal. As stated, presentation leaves a little bit to desire, but the pastry is flaky. The muffins are done just right. The pancakes are like the right amount of fluff. The waffles are good. So, hey man, Kamak seems to know how to cook.
Well, Kelmac, the presentation could be better. But if this were served to me at a restaurant, it'd be quite nice.
He's like,
Yes, sometimes
yeah.
I do also think and not open my mouth when people are talking to me.
Sorry, I was making sure that I updated his character sheet. He's like, oh, well, I mean, it was a recipe, and I wasn't sure because the recipes are from southern Ashgar, and I'm from northern Ashgar, so you never really know how that stuff works. But thanks, man.
Volred had one hand in like a pocket where there was like 3 little vials of different sort of exotic sugars that he's like slowly pushing further back down in his pocket.
He was fully prepared to season the food with make it sweeter.
Yep.
So next time, just work on the presentation.
Plating.
Yeah, I get it. It's hard, but like the pictures they have in here, they're just kind of done in crosshatch and stuff, so I couldn't tell whether this was like an ink spot or if it was supposed to have a giant spot in the middle there. I made the first round, I left the spot on there, and it didn't taste right, so I figured that was just a mistake.
He makes it one time and it's literally white and black. All the color was disappeared from the food. It's like, there it goes. Perfect. It tastes disgusting. Time for my monochromatic meal. No, about 25 minutes later, I come downstairs with Frigga.
Okay.
What smells
I
so
figure.
good? Oh, shit. Hi, everyone.
I saw.
Hello, Frigga. Nice of you to be joining us today.
And Frigga's there. Uh, Hi. Nice seeing you guys. And kind of looking down at these all trying to gauge. Shoot, I forgot to bring the missives from the guild. Oh man.
Andre just looks over at Izal and is just like,
He's just kind of, it's like not entirely sure. It's like we never really did decide. It's like, did we actually decide that we're gonna like
Well, since
be
you're here, we
vote?
should just eat while we're here.
You know I share a wall with you, right?
The food's quite good this time.
Oh, thank God.
No, actually, you share a wall with Volred.
Sorry, Caleb.
Never
Sometimes
mind then.
these noises.
Izal's the opposite of you.
Gotcha. I thought I did.
I'm mostly separate from people.
like as like Izal and Frigga come to sit down at the table, or wherever we're eating, I'm gonna get up and just go over to Frigga and just lean in and just say, "Glad you joined us this morning. I hope you got enough rest." And then just kind of pats her on the shoulder and then goes back to my seat.
Let's see here. Yeah, you can, as you kind of look, Frigga looks a little it's odd because Frigga's Ivana, so even as a woman, she's like over 6 feet tall. Broad shoulders, muscular. Um, but she does look, you would say, a bit bashful. It's like, thanks. I I really appreciate that.
No problem. He just goes back and sits down.
Wait, did Calmac make this? Nothing smells burnt.
Cookbook, fruits and stuff from next door neighbor, and Calmec has been making friends in our absence.
Hey, I normally have Calmac do this. Does anyone have a way of like detecting like devils in this place, other than Calmac? Damn. We'll just have to make sure he's not poisoning us.
Caleb will stop mid-bite. Excuse me?
Hmm?
You just said something about being poisoned?
Oh, it's just like precautionary. What if Calmac was possessed and decided to poison everybody all at once?
Well, you would be the best taste tester on that.
I mean, it's just going to taste a little spicy to me. And y'all have been down here eating for like 20 minutes.
Oh, well, we haven't died yet.
Maybe he's just a real bad poisoner. Looks good though, and I just start eating it. Oh, it's so good.
Well, great. So, what are we doing today? Like we've had a couple of days off, which is unusual to say the least. But I would assuming because we're being a little more monitored, we're kind of laying low for a little bit.
I figured we probably got to go up to the Adventurers Guild and get like a updated paperwork since we got promoted.
Oh, I thought that's what Frigga was here for.
Shit.
Yes, I forgot the paperwork because, obviously with your promotion, you're over my department now. But I'm sure someone will bring you the paperwork soon.
Fantastic.
And Moments later, you hear a on the front
Okay.
door.
I'll get it. Yandere just gets up.
Yeah, Frigga's got this look on her face like,
Good call. How did you
yeah,
know there was someone
it's like
coming?
right going,
Nice cover. I didn't even know.
Shit.
Fricka, what are you doing here? Like, fuck. Minor illusion.
Yandere goes to open the door.
Okay. Yep, you just swing the door open, and a familiar gentleman stands in front, wearing the banners and colors of the Adventurers Guild. You remember this guy is Callus Brindwine, who's the assistant to the Guildmaster.
Number 2.
Yeah, he kind of stands there for a moment, goes to adjust his glasses and his leather folio. Goes, hello. I am here on behalf of the Guildmaster to, for an update and to provide you with some paperwork and your next assignment.
Frigga, you were right.
Hey.
Huh?
I'm sorry, is this a bad time?
Not necessarily a bad time. We do have guests right now, but just give me 1 second. I briefly close the door, not fully, but I turn back and I look over at Izal and I'm like, is she supposed to be here? I don't. Frigga, are you gonna get in trouble if there are people looking for you?
He's like, well, it's my day off, so.
I love that. All right. Oh yeah, you are more than welcome to come in. Are you just dropping the paperwork off, or are you coming in to
the assistant kind of is looking you over because he's like, what? This is very suspicious. Like, I guess there are some things we need to discuss.
Oh, okay, cool.
I shouldn't take too much of your time, though.
That's fine. Come in. And they open the door, and I just let him in.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but also remember, kitchen is downstairs. So as long as you guys stay in, you wouldn't have. You would essentially be having this conversation shouting down the stairs.
Okay.
That's how we have all our conversations. On the stairs or around them.
Yeah. Yes. On or among the stairs. Yes. So I assume you just take a seat with him there in the sitting room at the front.
Yep. Oh, wait. 1 second. Caleb,
Yes.
come upstairs. Bring your food.
All right.
I figured we should have at least another person here, so that way we can go through all of the semantics that are necessary.
Oh, of course. Apologies. I wasn't aware it was breakfast time. And he's kind of glancing outside, noticing it's definitely later morning at this point. It's like adventurers, But, I mean, you get the sense this guy doesn't deal with the rank and file all that often.
It's more like brunch, but we've been we had an adventurous last couple of weeks, so we're taking time to rest and get our relaxation in.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're gonna
and
come up with 2 plates.
I can tell you that Lord Renard certainly appreciates you and your group taking a bit of a break and keeping a low profile these last few days. This has been very helpful.
Great.
When Caleb gets upstairs, he'll hand the plate to the other individual. Here you go.
Callus will kind of take the plate and go, oh! You just give him a little smattering of everything?
Pretty much.
He's kind of looking up. Oh, well, thank you. And goes and kind of sets it on a little side table and kind of starts moving his folio around as he goes to kind of gesture. He's kind of standing there.
I said come in.
No, you guys are in. You get the sense, custom manners, he's waiting for a seat to be offered before he takes one.
I'm not from this plane, so that's not going to happen for me.
Hundred goes and sits down.
I
Caleb
know,
will sit
but I'm
down.
just saying because you've got a high enough insight to where you would have noticed that he seems.
Caleb would have said, "Go on, sit down. You're good."
Thank you very much. And,
Is that what you were waiting for?
Proper gentlemanly conduct dictates that one does not take a seat until a seat is offered.
This
It
is not a
is
gentleman's
mostly a
house.
matter. I understand that, but well, respect being what respect is.
Oh, well, here. And then Yandre walks over and grabs like one of the like stools and like sits it up next to Caleb. Have a seat.
Okay, and he goes and kind of sits down, pulls out kind of the folio, has a couple pieces of paper, and then kind of a leather wrapped kind of binding. He goes, well, he kind of passes over the paperwork. It says, this is the paperwork with our the official agreement that we have. As you'll notice on the first page, handles the agreement. The second page, which you can also note has been notarized, is basically just stating that the council has absolved the matter of the previous few days, and that you have since been exonerated of any potential crimes that could have arisen from there. Just to say that this whole matter has been put to bed, officially.
Is it just the 2 pages, or is there more pages?
It's just the 2 pages. It's kind of like no, because they're written kind of like the Declaration of Independence, where like this big kind of sheets of paper with like really small writing. But sure enough, it kind of goes down, and some of the spots that you can kind of quickly go through and read, it does appear to be signed, sealed, and now delivered.
Yandre is going to like seat off to the side with the paperwork and just begin vigorously reading all of it.
Comprehend languages.
It's in common.
That's for the lawyer speak.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Is that because
Secondhand
like
silver.
Caleb hasn't gotten that spell from the Scriveners yet that allows him to rapidly read text.
Maybe next time.
Just haste. just do everything twice as fast.
So I'm doing, as I go through that, I'm like pull over to the side and I'm like, Caleb, figure out the rest of the stuff. I got something to read real quick.
Right. Well, now that that is settled, and hopefully to your satisfaction, we turn now on to one of the main reasons for my visit, and that is firstly to see if there's anything your group needs to inform us regarding, as regards to the disclosure clause of our agreement. And then also, I am here to charge you with your first mandatory quest.
Is all.
1 second. What? Hold on. I'm wearing clothes I woke up in, so
So basically, you look like a
Clothes
barbarian.
that you put on.
I look disheveled.
You look as though you came up and you've got enough of that little bit of glowing energy. Maybe you fought this morning.
Get to the top of the stairs. I turn the corner. Right. That's
Have we-
who's
Yeah.
up here.
Do we
Callus
have
kind of
anything
looks
to
over and goes,
declare?
oh, kind of noticing you're kind of in your night clothing. Apologies, madam.
It's fine. What's up? Declaring?
Yeah, do we have anything to declare? Because you're the one that normally does all that.
It's pending current issues. They're kind of aware about the incident at the tournament, so we should probably divulge some more information about that. Keep guards on, and that they're primarily focusing on us. So we can probably do that one. We could also I don't know. Well, he's second in command. He'd probably be a safe person to give information about how corrupt the wizard stuff is, but that's kind of up to everybody.
And then,
But he also probably knows.
I have served the guild for a long time. Yes.
He's really experienced.
And he's also here to give us our first mandatory quest.
Oh man, it's like 2 days. What the hell?
I understand, but Lord Renard thought that it would be best to seize the initiative and to show early production in this agreement of ours.
Advantage.
Who is it from?
No, it's a quest specifically from the guild. So the guild is your employer in this regard.
Okay.
Particularly, Master Renard picked something that will allow you to be of great benefit to the guild, show you are a team player, while also not putting you in any serious danger, and basically help us clear something that has been on our books for a little while that has not yet been taken up by any other party.
Question. Ian.
Is this a giant
Yes.
How
bird?
much of his... Or is it a crypt?
This is the only two we got going for us.
Anyways, do I believe his sincerity, or do I see any ulterior motive?
You can roll me an insight, if you like,
So,
just to get a general idea of your thoughts.
And I will
Simon
divulge
Gold,
some
20.
information about the Shades of Cavail without giving up too much information about who particularly they're after.
Yes, and as you kind of start talking, you're noticing Callus is in the process of kind of writing down some notes. From what you can tell, he seems quite fascinated with the information. Get the sense he's the bookish sort.
hold a natural
yeah.
1 for a 3. I am captivated.
It's
captivated by his words.
Now, as you're sitting here going, you're finding it very hard. There's a part of you, though, there's a part of him that kind of smacks of the very kind of dignitaries that you hate and make your life difficult. You also catch, as he mentions, a quest that hasn't been taken along for a while. He has a certain kind of a smirk that leads you to believe that he at least... that there might be a joke at your expense there, and he might be enjoying the joke.
All right, lay it on us.
But the quest that we have need of you to take care of, well, there is a small village far to the southwest of us that lies in the Isle of Stormhaven, which has recently been devastated. They are in dire need of some humanitarian aid, and your task is to travel to the village there, a place called Windwhistle, and provide whatever assistance you can to help them recover. And this is, well, as I said, it is something that the Guild considers a high priority, and will be an excellent opportunity to show that you are willing to play ball, so to speak. Calum, actually, specifically, roll me a history check right quick. Because you're going to get some you're going to get some information already, but I'm trying to see if maybe there's some other information.
30.
30.
He rolled a 3.
Yeah, your ears immediately kind of perk up a little bit when you hear Stormhaven. because this is a place you're passingly familiar with. Um, Supposedly, from what you understand, uh, I said southwest, didn't I? Sorry, northwest. It's northwest of here. But in either case, you know it's actually a nearby island. As you've seen kind of the maps here in Air Yellen, it's got this weird kind of fragmented explosion type chain of island that Air Yellen is a part of. Haven is one of the larger islands that actually kind of sits in the middle of that cluster, and was used kind of a breakwater. You know that a long time ago it was said to house um, a fortress that was used kind of in the early days of Bale. And so there's a lot of historical significance with that place. Apparently, it was once used as a pirate hideout, and those pirates amassed a rather large trove of magical knowledge and artifacts that they stole from the Ashgaran colonies that were here in the areas. Um, Rumor has had it that pretty much everything on the island was claimed during the subsequent wars and such, but that doesn't stop the occasional treasure hunter from going there from time to time to see if they can find any knowledge or artifacts from the Third Age. It was also originally considered one of the possible location of Elric's sanctum, which of course you know to be false, seeing as how you've actually been there.
So he's saying that there's a village there that got devastated, when in
Yes.
actuality it was many years ago.
No, he mentions a village there called Wind Whistle that was recently devastated and is in need of humanitarian aid.
Gotcha.
Um,
And in my knowledge, it's possible because of something like that.
yes, but you know that there are other reasons to travel to that island in particular.
And what would be,
Oh.
in my mind, what would he be smirking, making a joke of me about in terms of that? Or would I even
You
know?
don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
he's really hard. He's really hard to read.
With a Y.
Maybe it's that he doesn't think that you're actually worth this. Maybe he's sitting here thinking, "Oh man, you know these guys are going to make a fool of themselves or whatever." You don't know, but you could say there's a certain part about it that perturbs you.
All right. Tell me more about this village. What actually happened to cause the devastation?
Well, the information we have is somewhat limited, as I said, since adventurers have not really been willing to travel there and provide any sort of relief. What we do know is that there are many issues that the village is facing at the present moment, and well, we would like to send someone as soon as possible because they continue to request aid. Even though it's really not that far away, to travel there by boat, well, would require more funds than honestly the quest pays. Which is not necessarily a problem for you. But I would say when you arrive, I would speak to the local village elder by the name of Marla. She'll be able to give you a much better idea of what needs to be done. But also, since we're not entirely certain what all needs to be done, it is of benefit to send a group of well-rounded adventurers so that you can best handle whatever the issues might be.
All right. We will see what we can do. Does the guild have any advice for us before we head that direction?
I can't really say, other than, uh, despite their proximity to Ariellen and some of the other areas, um, some of the traders who have gone there have stated that, especially over the centuries, due to certain historical relevancies of the island, uh, the local populace can be untrusting of guests. So, I would certainly recommend that you bring that notice when you come with you, so that they don't mistake you for ne'er-do-wells.
All right. And how would we know that our job is complete? When the village is back to normal, or when?
Uh,
At what
well,
level do you want this to be completed?
Elder Mala will assign what needs to be done. Uh, Obviously, you don't have to solve all of the problems, not that I necessarily think they'll want you to, but once the Elder is content, uh, at least to the point to where she'll stop sending us letters, then she's free to sign the writ and return.
All right. Uh, Andre, Yandere like looking up from like the scroll of paper or whatever the paperwork is. First, I did make a couple of amendments here. You'll probably see them whenever you look over the scroll, but it's just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Second, um, is there no allocated timeline on this? Because it sounds like you're just kind of sending us off and leaving us at the will of this person of the village, and we could be there for months on end trying to resolve issues that this place has. So, what is the purview of this time frame that we're supposed to be there?
That is an excellent question. And the answer is, well, you will remain until the Elder is happy with your progress. Obviously, I can't prevent you from leaving the island. Uh, but again, this is a goodwill mission. And keep in mind that you are providing humanitarian aid. So any effort you expend uh, will be in your benefit.
But I'm not human.
Well, you are a humanoid.
Yeah, but that's either way. That means I have another amendment to our contract. So just give me a moment. Go ahead and keep talking about it.
I
Of
have a
course.
question about, like, while Yandere, you're doing that. I mean, we're a bit paranoid, being fairly accosted in different situations. From my perspective, I would think you're trying to get us to a location that's far away from the guild and away from other people's assistance. That's in a secluded location where help could be hard to find and could easily be a place to lay a strategic ambush against someone you're trying to get rid of. Not saying that the guild would do that to someone they just started making friendly negotiations with, but is there anything else that you're aware of in this area that you are going to try to get us to take care of as well, that you just don't want to put on the paperwork? Because a town devastated and needing humanitarian aid is very vague. What caused their
I
issue?
I understand. And well, on the one hand, I would say your
Paranoia.
skepticism and paranoia is an impediment. But on the other hand, given the events of a few days ago and the players involved, I suppose I can see your perspective. All I can say is, from what Lord Renard told me, he is very interested in seeing this mission completed, uh, as a quick completion of this mission to generate some goodwill will enable better options moving forward in terms of the kinds of quests you do. Remember, as your friend pointed out, and he might have some amendments in that regard, there are limits as to how many mandatory quests will provide in a certain timeline. So, in that sense, if this proves to be a simple, easy one, then you are. It should be quick and easy for you to perform and give you a bit of grace, so to speak. Alternatively, it's my understanding that your wizard here is capable of some form of teleportation type magic. So if you find this to be an undesirable quest to continue, well, you can always flee.
I just want to make sure we're going into the situation with as much information as possible. I mean, this is an area where it's not frequently traveled from outsiders. It's kind of far away, like you mentioned. Let me get my thoughts straight. How many times has this village elder or the representative of them sent you notifications that they need help, giving us a timeline of how long this place has been in peril? And what caused their issue?
He kind of sits there, pulls up, and, well, from what I can see on the record here, they have basically sent a letter every day for the last 37 days.
A physical letter?
Yes,
Every day for 37 days?
indeed.
Is it the same runner or a different
Uh, it's hard to tell. It's being sent by carrier pigeon.
Oh,
So,
that was my next question, because if it was by typical shipment, then one person's going to deliver like 40 letters all at one time. But by pigeon, that
yes.
makes more sense. The tough bird
And to
system.
be fair, we have posted the quest and have tried to get people to take it, but they offer such a small pittance that,
Okay.
honestly, by the time you pay for a ship's passage, it's would, unless one went to the island and found treasure, you would easily come out in the red.
Well, here's the question about
We've
that.
done one of these before.
In terms of doing the quest, things that we find during the quest, how much of it do we have to play?
Well, again, it depends on whatever Eldamala says, but from what I have understood, your goal is to only provide relief, not to solve all of their problems. There's some issue with some infrastructure that they could use help in repairs. They've also noticed an infestation of monsters, which they have stated very clearly are not of grave life threat to the villages, but are
Substantial nuisance.
substantial enough nuisance that it is affecting the local economy. So, look, truly, at this point in time, we're just trying to get these people to stop sending us letters.
So we're a USO tour.
I'm not really familiar with the meaning of that particular phrase.
An understatement operation, which means we're just going in there with the biggest guns you have available to solve a simple problem.
Yes. And we are sending large guns because if we send you, it makes it look as though it was a big deal.
Hence the tour part.
Yes.
Yandere, did you see anything funky in there?
Yeah, there was a couple of phrases that essentially can just be summed up by one amendment. But here in subsection 2 of the clause, section B, we just changed, and I went ahead and marked it out for you. And it says, we possess the right to freedom of movement and the right to depart from or travel to any place of our choosing. And we also reserve the right to depart at our own discretion.
And he's kind of taking and go, that's a lot of red. Very well. I don't have any issues. It seems most of this is just down to syntax and word choice. Phrasing.
Correct. But phrasing is incredibly important whenever you're signing a contract.
Understood. So then I suppose I should be very clear when we amend this that while you are free to go and at your leisure, you that would the phrasing you chose could give rise to the fact that you would be given the right to enter certain restricted locations, provided you wanted to go there. So we'll have to make sure that this doesn't grant you any rights above and beyond those of an adventurer, except in the case where it becomes necessary by a writ of the guild.
Sure. If you have amendments to my amendment, you can definitely put them in there, but please allow me to read them before you submit them to anybody.
Yes, of course. And he goes and pulls out like these kind of small slips of paper, kind of licks one edge, sets it on there like ye old sticky note, and starts drafting some notes for the amendment.
This was just to make sure that you don't send us into a death trap and not allow us to leave at our own discretion.
I understand that. Of course, that would be murder, but fair enough.
I mean, we could have left at our own discretion, but we don't want that to be held against us if it was a situation that we weren't prepared for.
Yes, indeed. And, well, you never know what the council might do had you decided to go into exile. They might have just sent assassins after you or some such.
Oh no!
Been there, done that.
Well, I think we've killed some of their assassins.
Yeah. So, and as Callus and Yandre spend some time working out the finer details of the phrasing of the contract, all of that appears good to go. So, now that we have that issue, the last bit is transportation. Unfortunately, we don't have a ship that can take you there directly, so you'll need to find your own manner of transportation. But the guild is, of course, willing to give you a bit of a travel fund to help procure that transportation as you find it.
Do we just have to submit an invoice saying that we need the reimbursement?
Well, yes. We can give you a writ that is signed, and then, well, whichever individual you book passage with can basically turn in at any of the ports of call. I don't know, man. I'm seeing Ari and Rab kind of laughing, but I didn't see anything in the threads.
Nope.
So now I'm like, oh Lord, did I make a phrasing thing?
Nope, absolutely unrelated. You're good.
I thought you were laughing at
Okay.
the invoice and reimbursement statement.
No, let's just say, we got a friend texted us, I responded, and I said something that was
I see.
phrasing.
Ha ha!
Accident.
Because I was
I
sitting there
said
going,
something.
what did I say?
Okay, I
Because
told
you
my
two are the
friends.
only ones that responded. So I'm like, so clearly, it's like, is this a sex thing? Did
That's
I
not
make
how
a
you
sex
file
thing?
an invoice, Eric.
So our friend's mom's making tacos, and I said, take a photo of her taco. And then immediately
Oh,
realized that, okay, continue.
Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Don't want that. I don't like tacos.
All right, so back to the game.
Just out of curiosity, did Lord Shadowstar give you some type of messaging system? That way I can keep in touch with them whenever we go abruptly leaving somewhere?
Yes, and he kind of reaches back into his kind of satchel and pulls out kind of a small journal, a little bit smaller than the one that you have with Frigg. But this one is like of a heavier gauge leather, and it's got kind of some iron banding with a lock on it, and you can see the guild's emblem emblazed on it.
Ooh, it's got that two-way authentication. Nice.
Indeed. He kind of passes that over along with the key on a bit of a chain, so you could wear it like a necklace. And then he kind of goes, and you are the leader of this uh,
What?
party, are you not?
I'm like at best the accountant.
Oh, sorry, I was confused because most of the paperwork has your signature on it.
I'd file paperwork.
I see. Who would you say is the most trustworthy among your group?
Ooh, damn, that might be me. I
All
don't
right.
go around a lot of places.
And he kind of reaches in, pulls out a slip, and then actually a couple slips at this point, hands it to you. He goes, "These are requisition requests for the expense reports. They bear the guild's emblem, so once you find, just fill out the details and hand that over as a sort of a promissory note, and whichever vessel or group gave you the transportation will be able to reconcile it with the guild."
I unlock the notebook, open it up, put them inside, close it, I lock it.
And you do see there's like a little bit of a kind of a leather folio that kind of opens up towards the spine that you can shove stuff in there to make it really difficult to get stuff in and out.
Ooh, the fantasy accordion folder.
She has a name.
Susan. It's my hard-working Susan.
That's right.
Ooh, I guess it was an important meeting and I did not dress for the occasion. I'm just gonna have to hold this, I guess.
It's fine. I understand, and after all, I work with adventurers, and well, if you spent any time at the guild, and you will certainly know a great number of adventurers that run around bare-chested, both male and female. And well, let's not even discuss what passes for armor for female adventurers.
We could discuss, but that's off topic. Are we good, Yandere? I'm good to go.
Looks good as long as they keep the amendments correct. And we had an opportunity to go through them, so yeah.
Great. I go back downstairs to the kitchen and fill in under breath to Volred and Kelmac and Frigga.
Yeah. Frigga seems a little perturbed when you mention Callus. She's, oh my god, it's like, that's my boss's boss's boss. Yeah.
He seems like kind of a dick.
Actually, from what I understand, I skipped into like my erudite. Like, actually, he's quite nice from what I'm told.
I don't know. I don't know how to judge people who judge people.
Well, really, the most important thing is he basically does whatever Lord Reynard says, so
That reminds me. I pull out the notebook. Florid, you want to send a text message to Lord Reynard?
Who?
He's the head of the guild of adventurers.
yes, Lord
Oh.
Reynard Shatterstar.
Hmm. I, I mean, I don't really want to do anything right now.
We don't have to, but I figure it's the first
Oh,
message
okay.
we're sending to him, and you can send it whatever you want, and it could really set us up for failure or success.
Yeah.
Or confusion.
Volred heard brunch, so he's focusing on mimosas.
Yeah, are we getting brunch with him? Are we inviting him out? Are we inviting him over? What message?
I'll just say, hey, got the textbook, or something like that.
What textbook? Are you guys talking about the conversation you just had upstairs that I was not a part of?
Yeah, it went way longer than I thought it was. I thought it was just like a dude, but it
Yeah.
was a more important dude.
So I'm flattered. I normally would love to send
still up
messages
there.
to people. Well, at this point, I don't care because I was left out early.
If you send like a grand entrance of like, you missed out on me, haha.
Hmm.
You might be his type.
Excuse me?
I don't know. He seems kind of uppity.
I was
And I
What are you
admittedly,
saying?
you're hot right now, like more than normal.
Right now?
Like you're hot before, but you've excessively become that. And I'm just figured, hey, let's throw this guy for a loop.
Wait, am I messaging this guy's boss or am I going upstairs to seduce this guy?
Could be both.
What conversation did I miss?
There's a lot of talk about like an island and helping a poor village.
I'm done with my charity work.
I think we still technically get compensated for it, so it's not charity.
You're right, and I actually am kind of broke right now. Am
So
I
lovely.
asking this person in message for money?
Now the message is for Shadowstar, who's the leader of the guild. That's just more of a, hey, it's really just whatever you want to say. We just got the text to him, and it's just thought if you wanted to have the first message. You could ask him for money. That'd be an interesting way of starting a conversation with him.
I don't know. For once, I feel like me running in with no knowledge would probably be a bad thing, wouldn't it?
He was the guy who showed up 2 days ago at the front door with all the guards.
Yes. The one who threatened us. But said he wasn't threatening us, but he was threatening us.
He said he wasn't threatening us in a threatening way. That's who the book goes to. His second in command's upstairs. That's who we were talking to.
So I'm going to message him and say that his man is doing a good job?
I don't know. Is he? You could go talk to him.
I'm more confused now. So I will sit
The DM's confused.
This is just how every conversation with me goes. They start asking you a bunch of random shit.
I mean, I could send a message. How are we sending the message?
I have a book. You just write what you want to say. It's a text message. It doesn't do pictures very well. I've learned to experiment.
I mean, I could send him a message and tell him that he missed on a fantastic brunch at our abode by him sending his second in command.
Ooh. That would both confirm that we got the text message and that we got it from his second command.
Perfect, then let's send that.
Alright, I slide the notebook over to you, opened. You have to write it yourself, though. I'm not doing that for you.
Okay, but just help me real quick. So I write, as I'm saying out loud, thank you, sir. And then I look at Azal. What was his name again?
Shadow
Shadow
Star. One word.
Star.
Oh boy. There's no erasing.
We received your blank. This could be a Mad Lib. It was a book, right?
Notebook.
Your notebook. It's unfortunate that you missed out on such a lovely brunch at our. Is there a limit on this, or can I just
You
keep
just
going?
keep going.
Missed out on such a fantastic, um, comma, pleasurable, comma, not so finely presented brunch at our abode. Had you come in person instead of sending your second in command, I'm sure you would have had a pleasant time as well. We look forward to what are we doing? Are we doing something for him?
Accepting the mission
For
after
accepting the mission
edits to
after
paperwork.
paperwork is completed.
Yeah, that's good.
XOXO. Do smiley faces work?
Yeah, it's really anything over like excessive characteristics.
I'm gonna leave that out then. Um, yours truly, Silver Knights of the Mythal.
Do you spell it correctly?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, S and M.
Yeah, it's the night. The night outside is silver.
That's why I was going to check because I imagine we've got some imposters out there who don't quite understand that it's an N and they put K.
Listen, I know that I have some short-term memory issues at times due to dying and indifference, but I at least know who we are. Okay.
Like, have you as you've written that? Like, that's the sending of the text. It just sends it as you're doing it.
Oh, so he got to see the pauses.
Pretty much, yeah. If you write and then stop, it sends it.
So does he just? How does he know he got a message?
It vibrates.
That'd
Sometimes
be-
it's hard. I don't know how to change it on mine, but like you can change it to make a noise.
interesting. A notification of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, that was it. Unless you want to go talk to the guy upstairs.
no, he doesn't seem as important right now.
Okay. Hey, Frigga, you want to go meet him?
Trigger is.
I mean, we don't look our best right now. That's for sure.
Yes, I'm. I'm not in a position to. Maybe if I scaled the outside of the building.
Did you pull the rope up from the other time? I think we did.
Yes.
You know what? Let's just wait then. If I used a minor illusion several times in a row, you don't move very. No, you're too tall. That won't work.
Okay. So, yes, before long, you guys hear shuffling of movement upstairs. The door opens, kind of with the bell, and Callus departs.
That sounded like someone leaving.
Caleb will come downstairs and he will cast Disguise Self and make himself look like Callus.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so, yeah, apparently, as to catch Ari up, there was a shuffle. Sounds like someone left the house, and then, I guess, as
Through the front
Caleb
door.
yeah, through the front door, and then those of you in the basement see Callus descend the staircase down into
And Yandre would
the
have seen
servants.
Caleb do his spell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I would have seen whatever was invisible. So was it Caleb that left, or was it Frigga?
The guest left.
No,
The guest
Yeah,
left, and I changed
Callus
myself
left.
into Callus.
Caleb's pulling a prank. The
Yes.
question just is, you will see it if he does it before handling downstairs, or assuming you don't just leave.
So Callus left.
Yes.
Callus left after you guys finished hashing out the verbiage on the contract.
What was he doing?
Who, Caleb?
Callus.
No, he just left as in, like, they were done. Caleb, it just, as he's going downstairs, used disguise self to make him look like him.
Yeah, I'm doing it to freak out. He's all in freak out.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
Izal, we have company
What?
Callus is going downstairs.
again.
Who left out the Hi! Sliding the book and putting it away.
Nice to see you.
This is Kelmac. I don't know you ever met him other than through the door. And this is Volred.
Want some waffles?
And then Callus, this is Frigga.
Because just sitting here looking
I've
kind of
seen
at
you
you,
on-
Yonder, because he's like, what the hell? Izal, you see that kind of look in her eye, like fight or flight response is kind of kicking in, and it looks like it might be a fight response.
I
As soon as I start seeing that
I
response,
cast fog cloud in the room. I fog cloud on myself. The entire room fills with heavy obscurement.
is it a spell?
Yes.
Counter spell.
Oh,
I
fuck
don't know how
yeah.
this works. Ah!
I disengage.
Sentinel.
Then,
What?
as that
Wait a second.
happens,
Shit.
Caleb will drop it, seeing the panic in everybody's eyes.
Only a little bit of fog around me
Damn
just
it, Caleb.
appears and dissipates because that's all that got out of there. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Gotcha.
Oh, I look at Frigga. We prank each other a lot, Caleb, and like that's how we mess around, and I mess around the party. I don't know how a Frigga handles that, so good luck.
Well, look at Frigga.
Okay.
Do you want to punch me now?
No, Frigga is just kind of, you see her kind of nod a little bit. She makes her way over to you and it's like, that was funny. And she just kind of goes to pat you on the back really hard that you're kind of like, actually, let's roll in athletics. Yeah, 19 on the athletics. So
Ow.
you can kind of hear, it's like she kind of hits you really hard. You kind of hear the back pop and she kind of puts a couple vertebrae back in alignment. She's like,
Oh,
I don't recommend doing that again.
I'll try not to, but if the opportunity presents itself.
Well, before there's any more excitement, I'm going to go put on some clothes.
I'll come with.
She wants to put clothes on, not continue to have them off.
Look, there are some. We gotta find the clothes first. That's the first part.
I have locate object. Do you want me to?
No.
I was just trying to be helpful.
Finding them is half the fun.
Okay, well, we'll see you in 15 minutes.
20.
15.
Mm.
They're gonna go screw again.
Enjoy.
So, we've been sent off on a random excursion to a place that nobody wants to go to and get to act as FEMA.
So when are we leaving?
Well, if we're acting like FEMA, we have like at least another 3 or 4 days before we can leave.
Fair. Um,
That's FEMA.
Fay Emergency Medical Agency.
Uh,
Yeah, they're not very good to respond to things. Well, when you have the hunt just basically running through all different levels of the Feywild and they kind of mess stuff up, FEMA seems to get a little busy and backed up because they have to repair a lot of stuff.
that makes sense.
Do you guys not have a FEMA here?
no, we
We
just
call
let
them
all our-
adventurers.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we were acting as okay, yeah, got it. I don't know how long we're gonna be at this place, which is really unfortunate because we might be stuck there for months. And I'm just letting you know, as soon as Lord of the Hunt calls me, I'm out.
I understand that, and I would like to be there with to help whenever possible. But and maybe we can see if we can adjust the time scaling of since he is an archfey. I think he might be able to do that.
The Lord of the Hunt? Yes, he's an archfey. But if you're talking about, you know what? I don't know what happened to the Pumpkin King yet. And it's been a couple of days.
For you.
Well, yeah, it's been a couple of days, which could mean it's only been minutes there or seconds. I'll be back.
Right.
And Andre goes to his room.
When Yandere
Okay.
leaves, Caleb will leave the house for an errand to come back.
Okay.
I already
Sneaky,
messaged you what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. You got some shopping to do. Okay. So, Yandere, you ascend the stairs, head to your room.
Commune
Okay.
as a ritual because I'm not spending the time. I'm not spending the spell slot.
Okay. Let's see. Right. In this case, you prepare the communion, reach out to that energy. You feel it connect easier than it has in the past. But you only get the sensation of the Feywild. You don't get the sort of astral projection you've had in the past, leading you to believe that perhaps Ceranos is still recovering, or is otherwise engaged. But yes, you can kind of sense among the kind of the shroud of darkness his presence. Why do you call?
It was simply a follow up, Lord of the Hunt. It's been a few days here in the Prime, and I know that time is not cyclical there, but I just wanted to make sure that everything is going smoothly.
It is proceeding as planned. We are in the process of laying siege to the throne. Things should be over quite quickly.
Are there many in opposition to you reclaiming the throne?
No. Once word of my return spread, well, even Gortfeld does not side with the Pumpkin King. But he has barricaded himself within the throne, and I would rather not desecrate that holy place any more than necessary.
Understood. If you should need me, please let me know.
Well, you still have questions that you can ask.
I will was like, I would rather.
Let's just gonna end the spell.
Yeah, like, I really don't have. I just wanted to make sure everything was going smoothly. Like it was. That's really simple. Oh, Lord Serenos, Lord of the Hunt, if I may ask a favor of you prior to my return to the Feywild, can you make sure that Tira and Callan are safe? They've been refugees for quite some time, and feared due to my connection with them that they may have been hunted. And I want to double check to make sure that they're okay and that they're in a safe place.
There's the energy changes a bit. You can feel the Horned Lord become contemplative. Because the two you refer to are safe. They lie in the protection of Baron Brumholt and the ever-burning hearth. I shall let the Archfey there know to send them along once things are safe, unless you wish to retrieve them yourself.
I will retrieve them once I am beckoned. I just appreciate the knowledge, as it's been a long time since I've been able to speak with them.
Understood. I shall summon you as soon as my work is done.
Thank you.
As the leaves fall,
As the leaves fall.
and you feel the consciousness recede.
Okay, and then I go back downstairs.
Okay. 20 minutes later.
Oh wait, no. If it's because that conversation probably didn't take that long. It took me 10 minutes to do the community, so I would go upstairs. Actually, I'm gonna go to. Yeah, I'm going up to Azal's room.
Okay.
It took me a little bit of time to get up there, get set up, and then 10 minutes to do the communion, then to finish it up. Oh yeah, I know.
Behind clothes, not to take any off.
And I told you 15 minutes, and I was about to be. I'm punctual. So Yandre he's like taking account of the time frame, and is like, okay, I'll give him like another minute, but here in another minute, I'm about to knock on the door.
Yeah, you're sitting outside the door with your sundial watch, and you're just like,
Inside that.
he's all.
Do the whole Sheldon knock.
It looks like you have half your dominatrix outfit on. Frigga has the other half. Did you find her clothes? Are you lying to me? Have you always known exactly where her clothes were?
That is Izal admitting to herself that her deception is not nearly high enough to get past.
It's not.
There.
We have errands to run before we leave. Well, yes, we have to find transportation anyway. How are we going to acquire transportation without our leader / accountant / actuary / person who signs all the paperwork?
Parliamentarian. They're called parliamentarians.
Wait, is he not in there? Come here. We walk over to the wall with a half-drawn, like, arcane circle and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you've done, like, old...
It's a little bit more done than it was earlier.
You're, like, a little more familiar with, like, runes and stuff. What is this?
Nope. Some arcane geometry shit.
You don't know what this is at all. He says that he's working on a new spell, and he doesn't want to divulge what the spell is. But I'm concerned. Well, I already tried asking him what the spell was, and he didn't want to tell me. But what if it's for himself? That's the spirit that flies with him. Yet. But we know that Caleb has been working on a clone spell, and then Caleb also mentioned that at some point or another he plans to give Maylor a body. Whether that be his body or another body, I have no idea. But it's a problem. And he's not giving us enough information to resolve that. Well, okay, he said that this specific spell was not for Maylor to get a body, but he didn't give me any additional information on it. Well, yeah, he looked like he was telling the truth about not giving Maylor a body, but they didn't tell me what the spell is for. So I shouldn't just burn all of this to the ground. Okay, fine. Well, he hasn't been sleeping, so I don't know if he's probably got a whole bunch of paperwork and things on his bed. He took a power nap, and he said that he gets the recommended 4 hours of sleep for an elf. But he's not elvish. He's going to get sleep deprivation psychosis. Okay. But it's not good for the dead. Even the dead rest. Fine. Fine. Well, we should... Fine, let's leave. Leave his room? I can't put furniture in front of the door if I'm on the other side, so... I also don't know how to lock it from the other side, so I guess we're just leaving the door wide open like he did before. I suppose that'll work. Yeah, I was thinking about that because that means that nobody's on the other side to push the furniture to the other side of it. They're probably the best. So we burn it. You said it was made of wood, and you burn wood. It's a thing. But that's like instant gratification. Burning gives you a little sense of like time and achievement. That's fair. Okay, well, not recently. There was no. Well, let's leave. We need to find him, right? We'll make sure she has the rest of her clothes on. Not in your room. Meaning, don't spend extra time trying to find her clothes. Walk her home. Vored!
At this point, Caleb would walk in the door.
Carrying a big box.
Never mind, Vored. Caleb, where did you go? And I'm like yelling down the stairs.
I want to go buy a lockbox.
A lockbox for what?
For a spell.
Is this the same spell?
No, it is not.
This is a different spell.
Yes, it is.
Caleb, the spell that we were talking about earlier today, is that for you or who is it for?
It is a combat spell.
You don't fight.
Something I am working on. It's to try and help us in a fight.
Us, as in multiple people, or just like help as a general statement?
Help us as in the party.
Azal!
Yeah.
He's doing the vague answer thing again.
Time to burn down his room.
Oh, by the way, Caleb, it might be a little difficult getting into your room.
What? Why?
Yeah, you'll figure it out. Vored! I like going up to Vored's door.
What?
One, I would like for you not to lock your room since we know that there's an assassin coming after you.
It's unlocked.
Oh, well, you locked it the last time that I walked away.
Yeah, to annoy you.
Oh, well, it didn't annoy me. It just kind of concerned me. But I opened the door, jiggle the handle, and then open the door.
Hello?
Hi, I'm actually just using your space right now to hide away from Caleb because he's going to try to open his door and realize that he can't. And then I'm going to have to try to explain why he can't open his door, and I feel like he has a fear of walking into your room.
Why would he have a fear of walking into my room?
Because everyone fears walking into your room.
Why?
You don't really give off the air of welcoming people into your private quarters very often.
What a stupid statement. I'm always kind and polite and welcoming.
If you weren't so hot, I would argue you on that, but I'm not going to right now. And I'm like standing on the door and like I'm basically bracing myself up against the door so like Caleb can't get in.
Could you be more ugly so I can yell at you?
Why are you arguing with me when I'm actively helping you?
I'm not arguing. I said I would argue, but I'm not. Can you turn that way, please? Just
Which, which way?
the other direction, not staring deeply into my soul as you just kind of talk to me right now.
So like this way, and I like turn my body, but like turn my head back kind of over
Oh,
my
no.
shoulder, just like, is this the right direction?
Um, yes, just continue facing that direction until
But my body, like, am I talking to the wall?
you're not talking to me right now. Please don't talk to me right now.
So
Tira and Callan, Tira and Callan, Tira and Callan, Tira and Callan, Tira and Callan. Got it.
So am I to just stand here and stare at the wall and pretend you don't exist?
Yes, for like at least the next 5 minutes, please. Okay, maybe you can talk to me, but not necessarily like look at me. Okay, we're doing the awkward silence thing now. Okay, got that. Love that.
I'm just a bit confused, that is all.
I know I'm also confused and I need to not be, but you were the closest room and I'm waiting for Caleb to make a stink.
That's okay. Everybody today is just running at me and saying a bunch of things without context, so it's a little difficult.
Understood. And I like put my ear up against the door.
What the hell?
Why did you do that to him?
I didn't do it. If we're gonna do on technicalities, I'm not strong enough to do it, but it was done, and I was there while it was done.
Hey, Lord, can you do me a favor?
Is this what he's hearing through the door?
Can you go inside and tell me where's clear so I can teleport inside?
I just want to be clear. Is this
Yes.
what Yandre's hearing throughout the...
Yes, I'm saying it as though I'm talking to Maylor.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
Maylor, can
yeah.
you do me a favor?
Well, yes, of course. But are you sure you want to go with that construction? It looks a bit, aggressive.
Well, no, I'm not doing that now. I'm asking what space inside my room is open so I can teleport inside.
Oh, okay. You're asking Maylor to enter your room.
Yes, I'm not going to. Yeah, no.
Okay, gotcha there. So Maylor, for those of you, just walks into the room. And, what does he see?
I mean,
He sees like an end table that's been dragged towards the door and just kind of unfortunately wedged itself too much.
It appears someone has taken the mick out of you, my friend.
All right. Is the rest of the room clear or just in front of me?
Just in front. It's wedged quite a bit, though, so you'll need some force, which we both know is not your forte.
In that case, I'm just going to dimension door inside my room.
And Mellow's like, that was a waste of a perfectly good spell.
Yes, but I'm not going to ask for help to get in my room.
It's either that or ask for help.
And now I'm going to push the nightstand.
And Mellow's just going to go, Caleb, far be it for me to tell you how to use your spell stuff, but you do remember that there is a servant's entrance to your veranda, right? the balcony
Way to
that
go.
the servants used. And yes,
Son
because
of a
remember
bitch.
you've got a little balcony of the service that looks out into the backyard, and it has
His-
a service entrance
His
that goes
balcony
right down
has
to
like
the
a
cellar.
black sheet over it because he darkens out his whole room because he doesn't want outside light. Like, I had a balcony here? Holy
I'm
shit.
gonna open it up. There's papers on it.
I thought there
Son
was
of
a
a
wall.
bitch.
You're just like, I have only just ever used this for tracing. Yes.
you.
Yes. Well, I just assumed you knew, considering you have a tendency to alarm it as normal.
Hell, I alarmed the entire room. It doesn't matter. I alarmed all the walls.
Right.
So
You know, I'm starting to notice a pattern with this house and your compatriots and yourself.
we don't pay attention to it very much. So we always find new things about it. It's weird. Surprised we don't have a fourth floor.
Well, I suppose, depending how you view it, I mean, does the rooftop terrace count, or
We have a terrace.
We have a rooftop terrace?
yes, the Widow's Watch?
Or take us all up there.
I'm walking,
no, wait.
I'm walking
She's
Frigga
still-
away.
She's still. Never mind. I'll do it
Gather
that
some
way.
clothes.
I
And you
will
see
not.
Maelor
I will
just
not interrupt
kind of
you.
shake his head, going, "Ugh." Well,
I need a nap.
Power nap.
yes.
What do you do while I'm asleep?
I cease to exist, remember? I disappear if you lose consciousness. It does
take a
suck.
nap and keep you. Do you want me to not nap and keep you around?
No, I mean, let's be honest. If you're asleep, it's not like I can touch anything, so there's not really much for me to do anyway.
So, anyways, I'm gonna go take a nap, and then I'm gonna lay down on my bed that still has papers, and I'm gonna move.
So, yeah, I think now is an excellent time for a break. All right, guys. Let's see you guys here in about 15 minutes, and then I guess at that point in time, we'll begin the trek out to Stormhaven.
Break time.
Transition. Oh, that's me. Hey guys, welcome back to to Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so you guys had brunch, spoke with the guild assistant, Callus. Basically gave each other some shit for your individual stuff, and you guys, I guess, are just deciding to make your traveling plans towards Stormhaven, such that they are. So, have you guys
There's a place
decided?
called Stormhaven. Like, that just sounds like someone that needs assistance.
Sounds familiar, but I don't think... Have we ever been to Stormhaven?
Nope.
It's been mentioned a few times at least, though.
Nope.
Or it's so generic of a name that I've heard it before.
Probably another game.
It was a location in a one-shot from a long, long time ago.
Yeah, that ain't me, but...
Well, I also think Stormhaven is the name in Oversold.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a generic-ass name.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Like, I feel bad because I have, Nessus, the goddess of the oceans, and I totally didn't realize that that's an actual goddess. I mean, to the extent that, goddesses are real and real. But the point is, Nessus is an actual character that is a goddess in other mythologies, not just in my world. So I'm like, well...
take that.
Alright, there may be a little bit of a retcon next campaign. Not that I think anyone's gonna be in Akari.
I'll show you.
Yep. I mean, next campaign is the "Let's do what we can to fuck Eric over" campaign. So,
Yay!
but yes, have you guys decided what your travel plans, or what route you're going to go? You're going to try and go Wayfarers Union for teleportation. You're going to try and get a boat. You're going to walk there.
Is it an island?
Uh, yes, but technically you can get most of the way on land.
We can get all the way there if we cast Water Walk.
Yeah.
Possible, because you would have to pass through a section of water that's about 2 miles in width.
All red's muted.
I was just saying I'm on a boat.
How about a boat?
You're on a boat. You're on a
It's not a
boat.
cult.
Yeah.
Well, I went to go walk my girlfriend to her house and then come back.
Mhm.
So whatever y'all decide during that, and then I come back. Because I'm not the wizard, and I can only kind of negotiate.
Okay, so we need to find transportation, and right now we don't know if we want to go by either teleportation or by boat, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I would say, given the speed at which how long it's been since they've gotten a job, gotten somebody to go out, I would say speed matters. So I would say the Wayfarers would be the best one.
Yeah, not only that, but also I don't really want to be trapped on a boat with an assassin if we happen to get there, because what happens if they just decide to assassinate everybody on the boat and then we don't have no way of getting from point A to point B? So
Ghost boat.
I would say Wayfarers Union is probably the better bet.
More expensive bet.
Well, I also have a heavy discount.
That is true. You do have a discount.
You can also see if your best friend has been there before.
The issue with that is that they would have to go with. That's not necessarily what you know. But yes, y'all ready to go to the Wayfarers Union?
I'm down for that.
Go.
I can dig that.
Yeah, let's try and check here. Ew. Like how much? Here we go. Wayfarer's got
800 gold. Or a threat and a limerick. You could pay them in show tunes.
Yep. Okay. So, yes, you make your way to the Wayfarer's Guide post, one of several that are in this city, and then inquire about a teleportation. Um Based on the kind of loyalty program you've got going on here, Caleb, they state that the teleportation one way is 490 gold pieces. Um, so, depending on where you're teleporting, you may have to pay for a second trip for the Wayfarer to return, or at least the teleportation circle. You'd have to pay that so that they can return to the Union.
Wait, we have to pay this for ourselves?
Well, you have a.
I'm talking to the rest of the party because I don't know what's going
Oh.
on.
Okay.
So I would have to pay 490 for them to go there, and then I would also have to pay for their spell to come back.
What if
Even
you
though
what if
Right,
you
because
negotiate to teleport them
it's
back
kind of like a
yourself?
rental car. You know, if you drive the car and then go and
Yeah.
leave it some other place, you have to pay more for that because they have to ship the car back.
what if I use a teleportation circle to bring it back?
That's fine. But if you'll be responsible for lodgings, I mean, because that's up to you. Because you're at that point in time, you're paying for someone else to come back. The guy who's doing the teleporting for you.
Yes, but he teleports us there. I use my teleportation circle to send him back. That way, he's not casting his own spell.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that.
Okay.
They'll want to know where you're going to send them, though.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about abandoned islands that you can't remember?
Hi,
Um,
yes. Party friends, did you say we have to pay for this?
We have a
Yes.
stipend for it that we can get reimbursed for it later, though. Hopefully.
Oh, okay, so we're getting...
I don't know how
Yandre.
much. I don't know how much it covers.
Were you,
That
did you
I-
help with the
what he
contract?
did.
I didn't hear what was being said. I didn't hear what was being said, so I don't know what's going on.
The contract, how much was the stipend for travel?
Oh, DM, what do I remember on the contract for the stipend for travel?
They actually didn't assign a number. They just said it needed to be a reasonable expense.
It's a blank check.
And this is a reasonable expense.
Just take it.
Well,
There's
that's
some-
what they told Yandre. That's not what Yandre's telling you.
Okay, that's fair.
Like check.
It's essentially a blank check. Realistically, the biggest thing is if it is something that is required for the job, then the stipend should be able to cover it as long as it's reasonable. But who's to say what is reasonable?
Hey, Yandre, how? I didn't catch on the contract. I didn't really look through it. How much are we getting paid for this particular quest, though?
So keep in mind, the quest is not what I was reading the contract for. The contract was for our agreement with the guild. This was not anything in particular for the quest.
I can go find out.
What was it? Because I'm the one who read the contract for the job. How much was the pay for the job? I know he said it was extremely low, but it was a
It
required
essentially wouldn't
Yeah.
account for the travel. Is what
Yeah.
we were going off of.
Yeah, because they were only offering 75 gold pieces.
job. Oh,
This is why this is a for show trip. Like,
Yeah.
stuff. Even if we took a going off of our travels with Arthur, even if we got this for free, like room and board would be extensive on this type of trip. I mean, what's it? I'd say let's just teleport and just say, F it, you owe us for this teleportation, we're trying to get this off your back. That's what I would say. Like, and we'll find our own means back. Otherwise, it's going to take us weeks to get to this place.
well, do we also have any other? Did it come with any tokens as things being paid by the guild?
I got more than one blank check.
Okay, then we don't have to pay for it out of pocket, correct?
Allegedly. Let's just see what the Wayfarers Union says.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe we could negotiate a lower fee, like a frequent flyer. We're paying for your thing back. We could spot them a teleportation circle teleport. I don't know.
And just for your knowledge, if you chartered a boat to take you there, it would take you 2 days each way of travel, assuming you got a decent ship to do it. And
I would assume
Over-
Caleb would know.
and
this
it would
more,
cost
'cause
you guys, yeah,
My fee is
it'd take you 2 days of travel each way and 25 gold pieces for the group. So it is a lot cheaper to travel by boat, but then you spend 2 days at sea each way.
Actually, I don't. Do we have anything better to do? Should we just take a boat?
I just don't want to be stuck on a boat with an assassin. But if you feel like doing that is the better bet, then sure, let's take the boat.
What do we know about the Shaded Cavales? Can they breathe underwater?
Well, if they can cast any sort of magic or scrolls, yeah.
They're that just as disadvantaged as we are
So,
then.
well, the thing
And
is,
they wouldn't
my
be able to
concern,
escape either.
my concern is, while everything is going on, they could assassinate the crew, sabotage the ship, teleport out while we're all asleep.
That's kind of a cowardly way of fighting people for someone who's so honorable that they would fight one-on-one in a tournament.
Yes, but it doesn't mean that the same Shaded Veil is going to be coming at us.
Man, I'm gonna give such a bad review to that dude and his reviews.
But I understand it would be cheaper and it would be a risk that we'd have to pay for it at the end if they don't say that it's a necessary expense. Um, so
I mean,
I
we're
can
looking at
understand that.
a 10 times increase of teleportation as far as taking a boat in 2 extra days. And we could teleport back. Like, the round trip's not going to be an issue for us. We might be able to find a ship that's heading that direction and pay as on ship defendants. I mean, we're platinum rank now. We could probably throw that around a bit and say you're guaranteed safe passage.
Yeah. So
I mean, I
I
could do
vote.
it, but people don't like me after I start talking too long.
Yeah,
Why'd you agree with me so easily?
because you are very intimidating.
I was going to say straightforward, but okay.
Well, straightforward can be intimidating.
Boat without any issues of getting people yelling at us, or teleport and hope it's okay.
I vote teleport.
I vote boat.
Red?
Teleboat. Teleport.
I don't.
but
Yeah,
don't
I
wanna
don't
pay
know that
for it.
you could get a an elemental airship as a reasonable expense.
We took a sky yacht.
You didn't even rent one. You bought one.
Volred went teleport. Okay.
But I don't want to pay for it.
Teleport with no repercussions. Gotcha.
Nope. Just repercussions are okay, just not from my wallet.
0 financial issues.
I'm not rich any longer.
But you're handsome, though.
Well, you are rich, just not compared to what your family was previously.
I don't have that much. Do I have money I don't know about, Eric?
I don't know. I mean, you have
Well, you said I'm still
more.
rich, so are you telling me I have money?
I mean, do you have more than a few hundred gold pieces?
Well, yes.
Well,
You're
there you
rich.
go. You're better off than most
But
people.
what I'm saying is this one-time teleportation would cost my entire wealth currently.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it that way.
Hence, I don't want to pay for it.
Well, you could submit it and hope you guys don't get yelled at on the expense report.
Well,
About
that's
this.
fine because I won't be putting the money up front.
Well, we won't be putting in the money up front.
There's a chance they won't take the stipend.
It's an expense report.
Well, that's true.
We'd have to pay for it up front and then hope they'd pay us back.
Well, we would give them the the stipend, and then they would submit that, and then they would get paid back for it. In the event that they don't, we are teleporting on the registration, and then they would charge us later. By the way, up front, we're good to go.
So did we get a stipend, or is this expense reporting? You
A
know
little
what?
bit of both.
That's fine. Well, I don't need to know the details.
But I have a whole flowchart here for it.
As long as I'm not paying for it, I'm okay.
Yeah. A more modern analogy is you were given
A
a
company
corporate
card.
credit card with 2 transaction limit on it.
How much does 2 transaction give in terms of transportation?
And can we choose the cashback feature?
Okay,
Yes.
so here's the deal.
That refunds it back
He-
on the card. You don't get
He's
it back.
always given 2. The idea being that you would need 1 for the way there and 1 for the way back.
So you're saying we were pre-authorized to teleport?
They
He didn't
assume we
put-
have the
They
way of
didn't
teleporting
put
in some way.
Well, they assumed that you would need transportation
Let's take
to
the
and from, and they didn't give you any stipulations.
I mean, we haven't been on a boat in a while, so
It's just
Calmac, what do you
Me?
vote?
And Mike's like,
Should we roll a dice? Let's roll a dice.
this is a hard one because I
He's like-
don't do very well on a boat, and I don't do very well teleporting either.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d4. 1 and 2 boat. 3 and 4 teleport. 4. Calmac's pro teleport.
Come on, guys. We should just get this done as soon as possible.
So he can go talk to his friends more. So we have boat, teleport. Kalen, what were you?
teleport.
Teleport. Yandere, it's up to you. The decision.
maker.
I think teleporting would be fine.
Okay, we'll teleport.
All right.
So, now that you guys are done talking in a small little staircase outside the front, and re-enter the Wayfarers Union, the clerk is like, so made a decision?
1 second. Caleb, did you want to see if your friend had ever been there before?
The Master Flurman?
Yeah, if he'd already... I didn't want to say his name because we're here.
Oh, everybody knows who Master Flurman is, especially you.
Right, but you want to see if your friend, Master Valerion, had ever been there before? We might not need to do Wayfarer Union.
I'll send a message to
I'm
Master
sorry,
Flurman.
where exactly are you attempting to travel?
There's a small town in Storm Harbor.
Stormhaven?
Yeah, that place. I wrote it down wrong.
Oh, that's fine. It's kind of not really in the middle of nowhere, but it's about the only people who go there are trying to escape a storm, hence its name. All right. And just kind of looking around. Is this business or pleasure?
Business. We're with the Adventurers
see.
Guild.
Do you have the writ?
Yandere?
Send it over.
The writ for
I never
the
got
contract.
The job.
Yeah, I would assume that I got it. So yes, I would hand it over.
Okay. The clerk kind of takes this, looks at it, and goes, "Oh, well, everything happens to be in order, so we'll go ahead and arrange teleportation, and we'll send a bill over to the guild." And goes to hand it back. And he starts taking out some paper and looks like he's essentially writing you a receipt.
Ooh.
And you guys can kind of watch as he fills the number in. He's kind of, you see him actually writing down like Caleb's kind of information. You see him do the math, but unlike previously, you see that he's adding some additional discounts, like a guild rate, to that. It's like,
They got that
excellent.
pro reward.
And then he kind of takes it. You see him transfer the writing to a second, so they're in duplicate, then triplicate, and you see him start stamping stuff. Hands a copy to you. He goes, "We'll handle filing these with the guild. In that case, will you be needing teleportation back as well?"
No, I've got that.
Okay. Well, then I'll just instruct the Wayfinder to return after he drops you off, and then we'll just file that as an addendum to the original, which is fine. Anything else we can help you out with?
I think we're good.
Very well. And he kind of, snaps his fingers. He goes, has a quick conversation. You see them kind of shuffling around. Looks like they're trying to find like which is the Wayfinder on duty that would be able to handle this. And then after a couple of minutes, apologies for the wait. Please, you'll be following him, and enjoy your journey. And similar shtick, you guys are taken to a somewhat secluded place, this time away from the rooms that house the teleportation sigils. This place looks specifically designed for departures of a teleportation variety. And he just kind of, your Wayfarer guide kind of takes a bit of, it looks like he has some kind of an almanac or atlas. And it looks like he's just taking a quick moment to reacquaint himself of where you guys are going. He goes, excellent. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Very well. I assume all of you have traveled via teleportation before?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thankfully the distance we're traveling isn't too long, so that should mean any sort of bad reactions to the teleportation, nausea and the like, should be relatively minor.
All right.
Right.
Appreciate that.
There's supposed to be nausea.
So if we
with
can-
this?
There can be.
Caleb, you've been so smooth every time you've done this.
Oh,
There
I
was
wasn't aware
one
you
guy.
could cast teleport.
Not teleport exactly, but I am able to cast teleport.
Circle?
And it's much less risky.
But there's a difference between the two.
Very much of a difference.
How much of a jostling are we looking at here?
A lot, depending on how things go. But
We had a lot
I don't
of
think
waffles
that'll be an
this
issue.
morning.
All right. So, let us be off. And he casts teleportation, and let's roll on the table to see.
In the fucking ocean.
99. All right.
Is that bad or good though?
That's good. That's good. Yeah, on the mishap table, high numbers are better.
Oh, good.
So, there's a brief moment where you guys are pulled through space. This very smooth. Before long, you feel yourself kind of unstretch, and you stand on kind of the top, the crest of a grassy hill. And you can kind of look around and feel a stiff, salty sea breeze kind of rustling through some nearby trees. And you can see kind of a small village. Looks like barely a quarter mile down the bottom of the hill. No nausea, nothing, and you appear to have arrived on target.
Hmm.
Very nicely done.
Yes, well, not bad considering I'm not incredibly familiar with this place, but did pretty well.
Want to take a rock with you?
Uh, Rock's a little too generic, but yes, I'll see if I can find something in town.
You don't want to take a big bird with you?
Yes, you're a funny one. Well, um, so well, I don't mean to presume, but I'm glad you have enjoyed your time. Once I collect the objects I need in the village, I'll be off. And just while I'm around, let me know if you have any other questions.
All right. Thank you.
You see him kind of start to depart down towards the village.
Ah, shit. Hey, what's your name?
Fuck you.
Like, I was wondering how long you were gonna go without saying it. It's like, come on,
I
come on.
wasn't gonna bother.
Understand.
You know.
I had a whole space on my
Uh,
notes for it and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. He kind of turns around and goes, "Ah, the name's Rain."
Like the water?
Yes, but there's an H in there after the R.
Oh shit! Like a silent rain. Ooh.
Hmm.
All right. See you. We're going the same direction, but we're gonna wait a little while so you can walk first, because it's gonna be real awkward if we're walking like 5 feet behind
You
you.
don't want the awkward conversation.
Fun. Taking the sights.
We just wait for him to walk for a little while now. All right. Anyone missing any limbs?
No?
I think we would have known that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
By screaming and blood.
Or just instant death.
If you were to lose a limb during teleportation, would you be bleeding or would it be just like cut off? Like, you know, when you get cut with something hot, it like sears the edge?
I would assume that would depend on why you lost the leg. Like if you teleport half into a wall, I would assume when you pull yourself off the wall, there's blood. Because you would be fused with the wall.
I'm done thinking about this. Thank you.
All right, they're far enough ahead to avoid the awkward conversation. Okay. We don't know what type of travesty has befallen this village. Apparently, it's just building shit and solving generic village problems.
Well, we are supposed to go see some individual.
The village elder?
Yes. So
Do you
I
remember
think
her
we should
name,
look-
Caleb? I'll give
I'll be
you a
honest.
hint about how much you remember about my long family. Her name is very similar to my grandmother's name.
He's got a better shot of knowing the elder's name than your grandmother's name.
Her name is Marla.
All right. What's your grandmother's name?
Don't remember. I gave you the copy of the book and you don't remember. It's Ronla. Marla, Ronla. You just changed out 2 letters.
All right.
Yeah, you just gotta change 40% of the
Did
name.
you actually give me a book? I think you said you had to get another one.
Nah, I got a copy of it at some point. I would give it to you.
Yeah, I don't remember you actually ever giving me a copy of the
Mails,
book.
it would have happened during downtime.
Okay, then
I don't
yes.
keep track of mail. You're my mail person.
I would say yes, I do remember. Since I did read it, if you did.
Nah. Who's
So
Valakir?
then, so let's go and find.
Valakarn
No, I know
or
what I said.
Valkyrn.
Valkyrn. Kelder would have put Valakyrd, which would be the evil version of Valkyrd.
No.
I've,
Valakarn is the evil version of Valkyrn.
I get it confused. It's my own history.
But yes, let's go find the village of.
Okay. You guys make your way into Windwhistle. Kind of a very small seaside village. The place seems more or less intact. Obviously, there's damage to a bunch of the buildings, but mostly it just looks like a really bad storm had blown through here and broke a whole bunch of shit. You don't see dead bodies or recently dug graves or anything of that nature. In fact, the sounds of like the local children playing and people going about their work uh, feels a lot less like a place in dire need of assistance.
Should we head to like a big building or just start asking people?
What time of day is it?
At this point in time, it'd be just before or right around lunch, depending on how much time you wanted to take to prepare for your departure.
How about we go to the tavern, eat, listen to what's going on around here before we try and talk to somebody to get an idea of what's going on in the city. Start Crop City about.
Let's look for a big building then that has a lot of patronage. That's maybe a bar slash restaurant. I don't know how many people come through here to visit.
Okay. Well, those of you who travel here in the Prime, especially Caleb and Izal, would, as soon as you guys start to surveil the village, would know this is basically a hamlet. There probably isn't a tavern or any kind of commercial buildings whatsoever. These are mostly subsistent individuals.
This place sucks.
Well, most settlements in the world are like this.
Most places suck. Okay, I get it.
If you're broke, just say that.
We got no money.
Okay. But yes, as you make your way into the city or the little hamlet, people start giving you a little bit of side eye.
Is Maylor visible, Caleb?
He's always visible.
Yes.
I've determined that that's the reason we always get side eye. It's because of Maylor always being there. Retcon to every instance of you saying we're being side eye. It's because Maylor's there. Do we... So a lot of people are staring at us. Generic village layout. It's probably some type of center area. So let's just head to a center of town.
Okay. You can head towards the area that appears to be a village green. At least where there's a large bonfire. Not rolling currently, but it looks to be the only real place around here where there's much area to gather.
This is where we start the fire, boys.
As you guys kind of approach, you hear kind of a shaky voice call out to you. As you kind of follow the sound, you see an elderly woman uh, with grayed hair, kind of weathered skin, and several missing teeth. Basically, just kind of sitting on a log next to a house, just kind of eyeing you up and down. What are you doing here?
They look like they're human, halfling, dwarf.
Human.
Generic
Human.
old. Okay.
Yep. They're generiatric.
Hi. We're from the guild. We've been sent here because you've been sending a lot of notifications. We're here to help with whatever we can. As we start walking towards her, I will start walking towards her.
Yeah.
I will
As that
follow.
happens, she goes, "Oh, isn't that nice? I thought," kind of starting to stand up. "I thought you were another one of those adventurer types who are just coming in here to search and muck about. Well,
No.
if you're here from the guild, then I should probably get you tasked to working, huh?"
I guess. I understand there's
Okay.
quite a lot since you've been befallen a great tragedy. Could you give us an idea of what that was so we have an idea where to start, or is it just this place has just been bad?
Oh, well, we had a pretty nasty storm come through here not too long ago. As you can tell, it's done a little bit of damage, that and just the general lack of maintenance around the place. And as you can see, our demagogues generally lean towards the old, so it's getting kind of hard finding some younger people to come in and help us out. Um, the most important thing I need from you is to help us repair that darn windmill. We can't grind any grain with it, so that kind of stinks. We also need the well cleaned. It's basically filled with all kinds of, well, not really sure what, but it needs to be cleaned out since we get most of our water from there. We got rats going through the cricks and the barns, trying to eat up our harvest, which obviously we need to get done, especially since we can't even grind the darn grain in order to make flour. And then we have some fences need mending, and yeah, I'd say that's most of it.
I was told that there was monsters that we had to handle.
Minor nuisance.
Oh yeah, them rats, big damn suckers too. Basically making way through the fields, eating up some of our crop, and well, they're, as I said, they're getting into the cricks and the barns and eating up a lot of our grain. So, adventurers are good for killing rats, I'm told.
Well, could just do it for a couple of cats. Kill them here.
No, they'd have to be some pretty damn big cats. I mean, when I say giant rats, I mean they're big suckers.
Point at Kelmac. How about that one?
You kind of go, oh yeah, we could use one of him.
Kelmac just gives us the Leonin version of the middle finger. Divide and conquer?
These are certainly things that we could definitely help with. Yes. You said something is going on with the windmill. What's going on with that?
Oh, that's a couple pieces, really. So obviously we have some replacement parts that we're having trouble getting up into the top of the mechanism. There's some adjustments that need to be made because it's racketing just a little bit, and you need some pretty deft hands to kind of get to doing that work done. But honestly, one of the bigger things is, the millwright died about 20 years back, and honestly, none of us know how the damn thing works.
I will get started on the windmill.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get some information of how this stupid thing works that they can follow.
Well, given Caleb's past, I would also know a little bit about a windmill at least. So he would be the best person for that sort of thing.
Could we send a message to Gorbek? Not Gorbek,
Gander?
Gander. I know he's been working on some automations of generic machinery. Maybe he might be able to come up with something to just get this thing to work by itself.
Are we getting ready to request Gander work on like some kind of mill?
Make it automatic so we can solve this problem.
Might be able to like function off of wind, just kind of like.
A windmill? Yeah, you get it.
But yes, I would be working on that, and I think I would for that. I am really tempted to just send Kelmac for the rats, honestly,
I mean,
for the meme.
I can. Anything that's not rats, I'm sure I'm fine with. And I don't really know what I can help with as far as. I mean, I can mend some stuff. I'm just manual labor. That's all I'm good for at this point. Unless something drastic comes up and I gotta go kill it.
Well, they did say there was a fence that needed to be fixed.
Yeah, we've got. They're not having a very good job at distributing, like, work. Essentially, they got older people. I don't know who would be good at putting those people to tasks that are appropriate for them.
I mean, I can fix the fences.
I can chop a few trees. Who's good at delegating tasks to less effective individuals?
Looks over at Volred.
Yes.
Something seems to fit your repertoire. As in, like, maybe I've heard some stories of you calling people inept and telling them what to do. I think this kind of fits that bill. Though you are turning over a new leaf, maybe you can dig into some of that old
Leadership
Leadership.
skills?
Yes, I am quite the leader, aren't I? Who will I be bullying?
The elderly.
And what are they to be doing?
Menial tasks to keep your day easier?
How menial. This doesn't sound important enough.
This small village is a shit show. We gotta get it functioning.
You're right. It's a pretty shitty place to live. But we don't have to pay taxes, so that's good.
Explains why the fence is broken. So if we can get some magic and engineering infused on the windmill, I can start moving some raw materials from place to place based off of where Yandre and Volred think it needs to go, and we can get the majority of people standing around doing nothing to put their hands to it.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Should I start bossing people around now?
Immediately.
Not us, them.
You tell me what to do, and I'm going to look at you, but I'll probably do it anyway.
Do I notice any other people around me?
Boss around as many kids as possible, too. Just really put them in
Yeah,
place.
I mean,
Like-
there are some more older people that are kind of moving around. Most of the people that you see, though, seem to be in the grips of doing something. Mending a fishing net or trimming verge, dealing with the gardens, all kinds of menial tasks.
So I'm just gonna walk up to a stranger right now who's working on a menial task. So like, what you got?
Okay, this one we'll say is in the process of weaving a fish trap.
Male or female?
Female. With a big old straw sun hat with lots of holes in it.
Hmm. Hi, excuse me, ma'am.
She's kind of looking at him. Huh.
Hi, well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I saw such a beautiful hat you're wearing, and oh my, is that a fish trap that you're creating?
Oh, yes. Though, it'd be nice if I could trap some other things.
Oh my. Well, I just wanted to say you're doing a great job. Is there anyone in your family who, or a friend who isn't pulling their weight right now who could be helping you? I'd be more than happy to see if I could wrangle up support for other tasks that you need accomplished.
Well, I could think of a few things I'd like you to do.
God, he's
Um,
handsome. I forgot.
um, I mean, mostly in terms of help, it's mostly my husband has, well, he spends an awful lot of time arguing with our neighbor over the fence or some such, but, you know, I have some things inside that I think you might be able to help me with.
Oh, what kind of things?
Oh, something I could use a big strong man for. But
We don't have one of
it
those.
might take a little while. She's kind of looking you up and down. Come on. And she kind of sets everything aside and she kind of reaches over and takes your hand, going, "Let me show you around the old place."
Okay.
Old.
Well, she's not really. I mean, you would guess she's probably in her late 30s. As human, yeah.
Fantasy old. This is medieval
Well,
30, high 30s is pretty.
is almost middle age, yeah, I guess.
I will follow her.
I will follow her.
Okay. All right. That was not on the list, but hey, bonus points, I guess.
You started it.
No, technically he started it, but
You're,
I
hey,
just
y'all are the ones who told me
We
that I
sent
needed to, like,
in
go
the
out
negotiator.
and-
We told you
Okay.
to boss something around.
so Izal, what are you doing?
I'm kind of needing someone to tell me what to do because I know there's a fence that he's fixing, things that need killing.
Yeah, there's a windmill that needs fixing. There's a well that needs dredging and fixing. There's some giant rats that need tracking down and killing, and there's a fence that needs mending.
Well, Caleb's starting windmill negotiations. Kelmac is on rat duty, and I guess I'm on will duty because dwarves know how to their way around.
All right,
The holes.
and Yandre, I guess you're gonna mend some fences.
Yep. Took mending for a reason. Love that we have
If you
it.
need any manual labor of chopping down trees, I'm there for you.
Okay, one sec. DM earmuffs.
The man whore of Volra.
He has
Take your earplug. Take your
earmuffs
hey, guns out. Take him out. This
Take 'em out,
non-sponsored
take 'em out.
segment.
I,
Take him
uh,
out.
Take him out. Take him out.
Take him out. Oh yeah. Put him away from your ear. Put him away from your
Alright.
ear.
We just separated when we're like expecting to be
Yeah.
like ambushed. So like,
Oh shit!
That's
we
exactly
just,
what we
like,
did, and
But
that was
we're
the
on
problem.
a
I was
small
thinking,
village. We're within running distance.
hey, it's like how I live my life. As long as somebody can hear me scream, I'm okay.
So we're okay. We're okay, right?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Oh,
Okay.
we're fucked. This whole village is going in flames.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a whisper section that the DM wasn't
It's like
invited
asking
to.
Matt Mercer, "Hey, walk away from the table for a second. We need the chat to see this."
I guess when this goes live, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Nah, it's gonna be a while. I got subtitle part of it
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, why?
because I
Because you're
muted myself for
Oh.
part of it. I'm stupid.
Like that entire conversation you were
With you
having
and
with him
me,
in the street.
I muted it. It's like fuck. I gotta go back through and subtitle that part.
Okay, so I guess I'll start from the top. Caleb, you are working windmill. So you said first you were gonna take a look at the mechanism.
Yeah, I'm going to see what I can do to fix it,
Mhm.
and any improvements that I might be able to make.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need intelligence. You may roll investigation if you're proficient with it.
I'm proficient, and I also get advantage.
Feel free to cast sending on to Gander, just for the extra info.
25.
That's a low
25.
roll. What happened?
Well, because it wasn't Arcana. So yes, you managed to take a look and look at the mechanism. It's surprisingly simple. Um, I mean, you would think anyone with a fundamental grasp of engineering probably could handle it. Um, but you do definitely notice that there's some parts that absolutely need to be replaced. And there's some adjustments and alignment changes that have to be made. You could do either of those first. Which would you like to tackle? Would you like to replace the parts or handle the alignment?
Uh, Place the parts, and then I'll do the alignment.
Okay.
They said that the individual who used to do this was dead, correct?
The Miller died 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yes. Is there anybody around that seems interested in the mill at all? Like they are fascinated with it, or
Um, you see some kids are taking a look. You're not entirely certain whether that's just because you're new or because you're some strange dude that's playing with the mill. Um, One of them looks perhaps old enough that he could potentially have the instruction. Maybe not lift the stuff himself, but
yeah.
is it
Um,
probably at least smart enough to figure out how the mill works.
then I would like to see if you'd be willing to learn how to do this and see if I can teach him how this works well enough so that when I do leave, it doesn't fall completely apart.
Okay. So yeah, you get some help with a very enthusiastic child. Now, as far as doing the replacement for the parts, I need you to roll me a strength check. You may use athletics if you are proficient with that.
All right, and in doing so, I am also going to spell. It is going to the kind of word spell. It's a spell that makes me proficient in everything. But I have to choose the spell. The skill. Borrowed knowledge. And it's a second level spell. So I'm going to use that as in athletics. So now I am proficient in it.
Yeah.
Rolled a 7.
7. No. You are able to kind of get the parts over there, but just even trying to lift this, you're like,
But I have had assistance with the other individual.
You mean the child?
who has probably the same strength as I do.
You are equally as strong. Two
Uh,
nerds chilling in a windmill.
no. But we will say, for the sake of progress with that roll, it takes you a little while to do that step. Eventually, a couple members of the village kind of come by and watch you very embarrassingly struggle bus this
Well,
and
how long
decide
do
to
I
cut.
start struggling? Because there's a
Uh,
limit that I will not use spells.
I mean, a minute or two easy. Like, you get it up there, and like as you're trying to lift the pieces, you're like, this isn't gonna work.
All right, I would probably wait a total of like 15 seconds and then Bigby's hand this bitch.
Say, hey, check out this.
Yeah.
I am not.
Keep in mind, you have an additional spell slot for each spell level.
Yes, I do, which is why.
And in this
is free.
particular interest, like the kid's like,
Don't tell me
how,
what I can
how
do.
do how do I do that one? I don't know how to do that one.
Want to join a cult?
I am.
Yeah, and then
I'm a
you
wizard.
realize like this is probably one step you can't teach.
I am a wizard, my good friend.
Live with your back.
This is something that you would not be able to learn, and this is taking years of practice. Now, if spells is something you do want to do, that's a different story. But you can't jump straight to this.
Yeah, you also have to give him the part that like adults are gonna have to do this work.
Oh yeah.
Other than basically just saying, yeah, you can't do this unless you learn magic. Imagine
Well, no,
someone
you
goes
can't
gets
learn
an entire magical
spell.
education just to be able to cast Bigby's hand, and someone's like, "What are you talking about? We just lift it up." And goes, "What? The guy told me this is the only way to do it."
This is windmill assembly.
I'm not strong enough
level
to do
one.
this.
It's like, man, windmills are so much harder than I thought.
Guy learns nothing but like lifting magic, like catapult
Yeah.
and mage hand.
Yes, and Bigby's hand is definitely good enough to do that. Next, I'm going to need a straight dexterity check for you to do the final alignment and adjustments for everything.
1 second.
Can he add his proficiencies since he's proficient in windmills?
No.
Well, shit. Should ask Gander. He knows all kinds of things about spinning and blasting. Washing machines.
That's true.
Cannons. Windmills.
Explosions. The only problem is you can't really give him advantage because he does most of that stuff by accident.
Learn from his own mistakes.
For some reason, it's not letting me cast. Just do a dexterity check. I'm just gonna roll with each one. That would be an 8.
Nope.
I'll break this.
Yet again, you kind of reach a spot where you're like, okay, my hands are not used to doing this. So you end up having to get the kid plus some other villagers who have stuck around to help you do the work.
Also,
But with a bit of a delay, the manual labor, of course, being the problem here.
Yep.
You do eventually get to the point to where now that everything appears replaced, aligned, and functioning theoretically, you go and engage the clutch mechanism.
wasn't there something clogging it? Or was that?
That was the well.
Alright, never mind
It's
then.
a dead body.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
we're about to get there. Yep, you engage the clutch on the mechanism, and you watch as the windmill spins and starts driving the kern, the millstone, beneath. So the windmill appears to be functioning now. Yep. And in the interest, some of the other villagers kind of took an interest and are asking questions. So you do a kind of a quick rundown of how everything works, and most of the villagers are like, "Oh man, you're so intelligent."
Yeah. But
Even though,
yeah,
like,
even though Why did it sound like there was a butt there?
Man, you're
I
smart for
was just
your
gonna say,
build.
but the DC was only 13 for
Ah,
intelligence. So
You kept fucking rolling shit.
yeah. Well, for
well,
annual stuff,
Engineering?
yeah, of course.
okay. So that's all well and good. Izal,
Oh boy, this is good.
you are gonna clean out the well. Okay, so first things first, you got to get down there to see what the problems are. So if you would not mind rolling me an athletics check
Can I take some
to
precautions
climb
first,
down this well.
just to be sure?
Sure.
How deep can I judge the well to be by using depth of measurement?
From what you can tell, your dark vision aiding you here, the well seems like it might go down about 100 feet.
All right. And the rope I know on the well, does it appear to be sturdy or to be very worn?
Well used, but you don't see any evidence of major fraying.
Okay. I will.
I will also say that like the well's only about 5 feet in diameter, so it'd be pretty easy for you to at least shimmy down the well.
Yeah,
It's getting back up that would be the problem.
safety precautions are important. I will tie a rope onto the beams of the well, drop it down. It only goes about 50 feet, so it's not far enough down, but it is far enough to where it is a measure of safety. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start rope my way down 50 feet and then muscle my way down past that and just kind of see what I see.
You reach the bottom of the well, which is a stagnant mess of muck and mud. With the dark vision and the light coming down from the wellhead above, you can tell what it looks like happened is a section of wall had kind of collapsed in at some point in the past and basically flooded what water was here with soil, turning everything to mud. You imagine, obviously, some debris will need to be cleared. The wall, you'll need to stack some stones back up. Um, but realistically, as long as you do that to prevent soil from continuing to filter in through here, the well should resolve a lot of the issues on its own given time, unless you want to figure out a way to take dirt out of water to speed it up.
That's a cantrip, but I don't have time for that. All right. So we have a hole here, partially collapsed tunnel. Gotta shore up this wall, reinforce it to make sure it doesn't protrude again, and start filtering out the sedimentary part of the water. And is there any smell of decay down here, or is it just kind of a
Nope.
floating mud water?
Yep, just stagnant, floaty mud water.
All right. I'll start working my way back up then.
Okay.
Working my way downtown.
Climbing fast, can't fall down or I'll drown now.
Yep. Well. Okay. So what are you gonna do at this point?
I will, for one, see. I'll have to talk with Yandere and Caleb to see if they have a way of, because Kelder had ways of transmuting, like shaping stone, and I'm gonna see if either one of them have a way of either converting soft earth to hard earth into shaping stone into a wall. Otherwise, I'll have to devise a plan of bringing stones down there, which means I have to have someone weave a ladder to make it more efficient, and some type of pulley system. But I'll devise several, like a portfolio of plans. A portfolio of plans, like, hey, this is how there are 3 ways we can shore up this wall on the well to make sure this doesn't happen again. And then I got to start, like, we could cipher out water through either magical means of either removing water from earth or earth from water, or bucket and pulling all the dirt out of here. It's going to take several days to do this. It's not going to be a quick fix.
Okay. So you and Caleb kind of have that discussion.
No, I have to find
As
Yandere for it too, because my only knowledge of magic is basically through cleric, and I know that Yandere is cleric, so I'm like, I need you both here as a way to bounce ideas off each other with magic, because I don't know how the difference is.
Cool. So if you're gonna grab Yandere, let's run over to Yandere right quick, just because your thing probably won't take very long, considering your skills uh, that you have. No, I'm just
I
looking at the
grew
skills
a wall.
required, and I'm like, all right. So you make your way out to mend the fences, the livestock pens. You do find some sections that are broken and that need to be repaired. Taking a kind of quick look around, the repairs look to be relatively easy to perform, but you'll need to grab some kind of limbs and thatch or other such natural materials to repair. So if you wouldn't mind rolling me a survival.
20, dirty 20.
Okay. Yep. Without too much effort, you're able to find some good, strong limbs, branches, and as well as some rocks to kind of help fill in sections of the fence and the wall. That is easy enough. And then you kind of go through the process of actually mending it. So you have some options. You're not proficient with carpenter's tools, as far as I'm aware. So you have an option to roll Dex or Intelligence. Your choice.
I can't just mend.
Well,
Cast mending.
yeah, I guess if you want to cast mending, you could try that.
Yeah, I would like to try that first before I start doing any extra stuff.
Okay. And then to kind of wrap it up, if you wouldn't mind rolling me an investigation. DC 13.
I got a 13.
Okay. What proceeds to happen is a period of time of you consistently mending this fence and then kind of checking it to see if it's good and then partially destroying your own work and going, shit, and kind of adding to it. Mend. Check. Oh, fuck. But after a few cycles and iterations, you do get to a point to where it seems like it's going to hold. About that time, Izal finally manages to track you down. At this point in time, pretty much waist down, covered in mud.
The wall's full of dirt.
Okay. And I mean, I'm happy you came to me to share that information, but I don't know what you like. Do you need help or?
I have an idea that I cannot do myself, but I know like a skilled cleric can do it. So I'm assuming magic can really solve this issue with enough engineering ideas. But I don't know if Calum has that ability, so I'm like, hey, Andre knows cleric stuff.
Well, I unfortunately do. What? So, what do you need me to do?
Ooh, well, I explained to both of you. Maybe you could bounce ideas off each other. That's a nice fence.
Yeah, don't touch it too hard. Oh, I think I got it stable, but I don't know if. You know what?
New wood. I can cut new wood.
Then I would have to make a fence. This was just broken. I could mend it. You know, the cleric stuff where I can just put some magic into it. It looks like it's gonna hold. It's fine. It's fine. Let's not worry about that.
Right.
So you need me to follow you to Caleb so you can tell me about the cleric-y stuff that your great grandfather used to do.
My grandfather, my great grandfather was not a cleric.
Okay. Your grandfather, sorry.
That's because it could be magic on both. I don't know how far Caleb's skill goes with it. I know your cleric skill, but I just don't know where the overlap might intend. We can get some quicker flow.
Did your grandfather have? Is this another thing that was in one of his books?
Some of it was.
Do you mind if I can look at it and see if there's anything that I can glean from
Involved
it?
shaping stone and like modifying like earth and stuff, and he had ways of doing that. But I don't know if it was because he was a dwarf or he's because a cleric. And
If you give me the book, I might be able to tell if I
hand it over.
Thank you. Where in the book?
It's a series of like earth-based spells. You have Mold Earth, which is a cantrip, and you have Earth and Stone and Shape Stone spells. So like they're medium to low grade spells, but I don't really know how much Yandere has. So like, but I know Kilmo also is highly skilled in, or Caelim's good in high level magic. So like, I don't know. So maybe you both could do it,
I'm just looking to see if it's even in my spell book.
or we could do it the hard way, which is ladders and stones and masonry, which takes longer.
I don't see it in my spell book. I have create and destroy water.
Mold Earth is the cantrip, and then Shape Stone is the spell. I think it's like fourth.
I don't have mold earth, so I would assume I probably don't have shape stone
You
either.
don't have Mold Earth.
You do have stone shape. Yeah, stone shape is on your list.
Was Mold Earth my druid spell I picked? Maybe. Kelder is weird.
Well, I have mold earth and shape water. I also have stone shape, but I don't. I that is a fourth level spell. I don't.
Oh, Kelder was weird. He had a spell manipulation and different stuff because of how I built it.
So I've got the same thing. So I've got stone shape, and it's a fourth level, but I would have to prepare it. So I don't have anything for you right now. But in character, I mean, I can read this. This looks like something I could possibly do. This first one though looks weird. Not really something that I can understand. But this one here, I should be able to do, but I won't be able to do it until tomorrow.
Well, that second part's mostly so we can shore up the walls of the well to make sure it doesn't collapse again. The Mold Earth was to separate the water from the earth. So if there's a way of manipulating the water and earth away from each other, that's really what it was for. I think that was mostly in his deity text for it. So that might be very specific to what he could do.
Well, I know that I've read in some of our tomes before that I can destroy water. That's something I can probably look into, which would, I don't know if it would remove the water from the mud, but
Sounds like it'll destroy the water from the mud.
it's still something I would have to do tomorrow. It wouldn't be something I would get done today.
Can you
Either way.
control water?
I've read in tomes before that I could do that as well, but I have not got it prepared. I wasn't really ready to handle water today.
It was not a well kind of day.
Not that I knew of. I was obviously under the expectation that they would send high level casters and people who can slay hydras and, do all of these crazy things to do more than fix a fence, unplug a well, fix a windmill, and such.
We're here for murder.
And whatever Volred's doing.
And bossing people around.
So help me if they set a deer against us. They're fucked. Turned to atoms. Alright, well, as far as the well goes, we could do it the generic way as far as just manufacturing. It'll take longer. We're just trying to separate. It's mostly the action of separating earth and water. It's an elemental based system. It's very common in the dwarven stuff. That's probably why Kildare was so good at it. That's why Caelim's great at magic, and the gods are generally good at elements. So I'm figuring the two of you together could probably handle something. It's not impertinent today. They can filter their fucking well water.
Great, because I can't do anything about it today.
You want some new wood? I could cut down a tree in like a minute or so.
Why would I want new wood?
Because it's sturdy, but like farther down here, it's got some moss growing on it. It's probably going to cause some breakage.
Are you talking about my fence?
No, just the part you haven't fixed.
I fixed the fence. The fence is fully fixed.
Yes, where you fixed it, it's really good, but the problem is where you didn't fix it.
I walk up to Azal, place my hand on her shoulder, and said, If you are just simply looking for a job to do because you feel worthless in the situation, please do not project that onto me. I fixed the fence. I did my job. Don't ostracize and criticize my work. It's done.
You're so good at reading thoughts. I'm gonna go try to kill something then, because fell down a fucking hole a second ago. I just wander off. I haven't hit anything in probably, well, technically like 12 hours, but I could hit something else. Sounds like
The thought process.
you can just see the whole thing. I have not killed anything in a while.
Oh god.
I'm gonna go help Kelmac kill some fucking rats.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'll join you.
Just AoE Spirit Guardians upcasted.
Okay. So, Bullred,
Bossing around.
how you
building.
doing?
He's so handsome.
I don't know. How am I doing?
Roll Constitution saving
That's
throw.
up to you. You have the opportunity to have a degree of fun that is up to what you are willing to do.
I'm willing to boss her and her spouse around.
Okay. So I guess roll me an intimidation.
$15.
Let's see here. Okay. So, yep. Yeah, I guess for sake here, uh, it was very obvious, even to you, what this woman was intending. Sounds like you didn't let it go that far. Uh, Probably for the best, because her husband came home not too long, uh, and was really rude to you. And obviously, he's got his own shit he's dealing with, but yeah, after kind of a very stern talking to, you eventually leave the cottage here. Both of them just kind of looking at each other, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. But you feel like you did some real good there.
Very
You're,
cool.
yeah, not entirely sure what you helped them with, but
But I hope that I intimidated them into a closer relationship.
who knows? But
I don't know. I left.
yep. At this point in time, you're looking around, um, and I don't really know that you see any of your party members other than maybe Caleb having a conversation with some of the locals.
Well, I will approach.
Okay. Yep, Caleb, you're basically just sitting around answering questions about the windmill and magic in general.
What if
Giving
it
it
Uh,
the
spins
talk
too
on the
quickly?
windmill. It could fly off.
Ah.
Sarcasm. And I'll look over at Bullred. Looks like you are finished with your job. What'd you end up doing?
Well, I went to this lady's home where she tried to seduce me, but it didn't work. And then her husband came home, and then I yelled at them. Um, I can't really remember why or like exactly what I said, but it just felt correct. Uh, Especially because Yandere told me to boss around people. So, I think it was a good I think I accomplished my job.
Very nice. So, why did you go to this woman's house?
Well, she invited me. She said that her husband was being lazy.
Ah, well, when you left, were they working?
She was working, he wasn't, and then he came home.
Gotcha.
But to be fair, I yelled at both of them. I motivated both of them to have a stronger work ethic.
Well, that works.
I don't know. I don't know if it did.
Well, you can go back later and check on them. Want to go see what the others are doing?
Sure.
Takes you guys a little bit of time to find the others, but eventually you do find Izal, Yandre, and Kelmac returning to the hamlet. Kelmac looking a little worse for wear. He's got like some scratches around his body, but and some signs of some combat, it seems. But one thing is for certain: they don't have a giant rat problem around here anymore.
Kelmac, I told you it's a matter of action economy. If you are attacked by 8 of the things, you need to retreat and back away to funnel them into one section. Don't let them surround you.
Well, how am I supposed to know that they make tunnels everywhere?
I thought it was pretty admirable what he did. He just kind of stood there and let them come to him. It's a good strategy.
No. Just no. Because they will just attack him over and over again.
Well, that's what I do. I just let them come to me, and then half the time they don't make it past Spirit Guardian, so I think it worked.
That right there. That part right there as we're walking back to this, like, Kelmac has smite slots and that's it. He's got at best a shield spell. He doesn't have an AoE of devastation of ghost defending him. He's got a sword that he never uses the right one for.
Yet.
On the sword or the spell, because those are two very defining parts.
Yes.
Why doesn't he have a zone for kill things around him? I think he should pick that spell up.
That's a question for Kelmac, and he's not in the mood right now to answer that question of why he doesn't know the
Okay, look, I didn't know that I was going to be fighting a horde of rats today, okay?
That was literally your job description.
rats.
Horde of them. Lots of rats. Giant rats. As in like a colony. You were going to go, well, we kind of made you go, but like you
When's the
go
last
because
time you had a rabies shot?
It's like a tetanus for him.
is that a greater restoration or a lesser
That's
restoration?
definitely greater.
Okay, well, I don't have that ready right now.
He's got cure disease, lay on hands. He's
Oh, he is good against diseases and poisons. Oh, forgot about that.
You're a good talker.
I'm
too, just
immune.
not against rats.
That's true. So we don't have a rabies shot.
Did we finish all of our jobs?
No.
Mine
Oh,
steps
and
to it.
this all came over and asked me to help with her job, but then also berated the job that I did. So we went to go talk to Kelmac to help him finish off the rats, but Kelmac was already swarmed by them and was handling them efficiently. And so now we're here.
I
Wait a
didn't
minute.
berate your job. I just said
Yeah.
that your job was good, but it's going to fail where you didn't repair. That's a fail on someone else, not you.
I repaired the whole thing.
Not there are sections where joints are met, nails are entwined. You repaired where they're broken. There's fail safes where it's just gonna fall apart eventually.
You see what I mean?
Well, I have a question. The only person who didn't do their job is the one judging others based on their job.
I can solve the problem in several days. This is gonna take time.
What's the problem?
I can't meld a freaking hole in a whale.
Okay, what do you need to fix that?
Magic
Okay.
or masonry. One takes way longer than the other.
Well, what type of magic do you need?
Could you shape earth to stone?
Earth to stone? No, but I can shape earth.
Could you make it a solid thing?
I can temporarily. I don't know about a permanent fixture. Let me
Oh.
see what I can do.
I need to be able to wall off part of the well so that earth doesn't keep falling into the well, and then I need to siphon out the dirt that's fallen into the well already so it's drinkable.
Okay, so I can use mold earth to excavate it, push it against the wall, but it won't stay. So what I was thinking was I could use the mold earth, push it all up against the wall, and then Yandere can use the earth to stone or whatever to mold that to actual stone. Not a refix spell. Well, two spells.
I don't
So
know. All I can do is hit things. I just know magic can solve this particular problem because of what I have in previous texts.
all right. Well, we will save that problem for tomorrow.
How's the windmill
Whenever
going?
it's fixed. And I taught a few of the people how the mechanisms works, so that next time if something does happen, they will have a better idea of how to actually fix it without just sitting around and doing nothing.
Have we talked about, so we've always heard too, is like the fact that there's a lot of old people here and not a lot of young people?
Well, there were quite a few young people around the windmill, but in terms of that, besides that, I don't really know.
I don't know how things go down here in the south, but where I come from, typically after a certain amount of interchanging between families, you have to just venture out to other people in other villages to make sure that you don't have like a stagnation of productivity. Clans can only make so much before there's just too much overcross. And it looks like there's no one coming to this freaking village.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. This village seems very off. It,
I mean, it could be just a wrong place at the wrong time. Old people, young people walk away. They don't want to stay at a place that has not a lot of travel.
but did y'all want to go talk to the elders, see if there's anything else that needs to be done?
I think we should talk to them to just see why there's a lack of the young people here. Why are they leaving? Are they becoming adventurers, sailors? What's the reason?
Okay, so you're gonna go track down Marla.
Let's track down the old hag.
Yep. You find her in her home, apparently cooking a really large pot of some kind of stew. As you guys come in, she's like, "Ah, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Hard day's work, huh?"
Fences, mills, rats.
Ah, yes, I've heard. I've heard. Real good work there as well. I guess the only thing left is the well.
Yeah.
Still, that's a lot of work to get done in one day. I knew you guys were the creme of the crop shaft. You guys are pretty good.
Cream of the crop.
Yeah, cream of the crop. I guess that's the one.
Why I mean, Calum noticed that there were some young fellows that showed up about the windmill getting refixed and everything. And kind of the middle-aged guys showed up too, but there's not a lot of the younger generation around here. What happened?
Oh, well, truth be told, over time, most of the people that live here in the village, they go and spend their time running off to sea and being fishermen and such. And, well, unfortunately, we had quite a few that died in one of them rift storms a few years back. Left a whole bunch of youngins without any parents. And, well, as it stands, it just leaves to some of us of our older generation to stay here and look after the youngins.
Eric, how far is this a inland city or is like a near coast?
It's right off the coast.
But there's no dock and port?
There is a bit of a wharf, but not one that would accommodate a very large ship. Maybe a river barge, and definitely like some fishing schooners, but not like a giant galleon or anything.
I'll ask the elder. Do you have like a very high, what's it called here on the island? A high beach area where like not very deep vessels can come in, like barges.
Our harbor's fairly shallow, yeah.
Do you think that might be a reason where you're not getting a lot of trade coming through here? I mean, it seems like it could have a potential for a lot of travel coming through here, which is there's no place for the large ships to dock.
Uh, yeah, I suppose that's true, but we don't have the resources to build a large dock here. Besides, even if we did, what would be the point? There's nothing here.
Yeah. I'm concerned that we've just put a band-aid on your problems. Like, we fix your fence, fix your mill, look at your well going, your rat problem we get taken care of, you'll have an increase on productivity based off of assigning people to the right area, but if you've got no younger generation staying around, then there's really no hope in the future.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, darling, but yeah, the truth is, we'll bounce back. The hardest part is just that there's so much of us that have gotten old. We've had essentially an entire generation has been kind of wiped out. As the young'uns growed up a little bit, they'll be able to take on some more tasks, and once some of us older folk have kind of moved on and be less mouths to feed, and nature has a way of resolving these kinds of things.
There's kind of a shift in the tone of his all's face because he's still really very stoic. Like, I don't think you understand the situation you're in. I, as you can tell, am a dwarf. I'm from the dwarven villages and things. We've got a long history of staying pat, next generation up, taking care of the foundation, building up from where they were, making everything better as it goes, and maintaining a fundamental resilience to everything they do. But there's a resounding problem when you have something in your own situation. There's been plenty of strong clans that have like a series of devastation where it skips the whole alcove of essentially just help. You're really putting a lot of pressure on the very young generation, hoping that they get old enough and they're not too worn out from being overworked at their younger age to take over for you all. And I think you're on a downward spiral here. You took a massive hit during one of those devastating periods. Even the dwarves have had plenty of situations where they're not strong enough to resilient that type of hit, there's no one to take care of the elder. And the elder are too stubborn to change their ways, and the young are too stubborn to take over for them. You're going to be in a situation where you've got no one. You'll have no one but a few of the young people taking care of the massive elder people here. You're not in a prime real estate section like you mentioned. Even putting in a harbor, which might increase trade, isn't going to necessarily help because you don't have a lot of trade coming in. I think you're in a downward spiral, and I don't think you realize it yet.
Well, sweetheart, I can understand your perspective, and I'm not gonna say that we don't have some hard work ahead of us. That's for sure. But thing is, life, it's just like that. And I get that you're not really from here, but those of us who have lived here in the archipelago, this is just life for us. This isn't that unusual. What'll likely happen is we'll have some of the youngins come to call, and some of us older will pass away, and some of the other villages who may have been hit at some point in time, we may end up migrating. Who knows? But the point is, as long as there is a younger generation, there's always hope.
It's all. I lean over to us all real quick and just kind of she seems to think that it's just kind of like the next generation's problem. Like she's gonna die and then boom, like the next generation is gonna be responsible just to fix everything. So I don't know if you're gonna convince her that there is a problem. It's like very boomy. I don't know if that's not boomy, not boomy. Very
Andre, I am well aware of what she's speaking of. And there's like a kind of a level of pissed off that she's essentially looking into the same refractive mirror of just the dwarven attitude spread along the human lifespan. I was like, I've seen this shit before. It does not work out. You're seeing it in a sped up form. Like, yeah, it's not. It'll either hit or it's gonna miss, and if it misses, it's gonna be a fucking disaster, and we'll be back here again.
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, her perspective seems very set in stone. Maybe we might need to talk to somebody else. Maybe someone younger.
Eric, from what we've seen, visiting all like from Volred, seeing the villagers, Yandre and Caleb and everybody, what's the ratio we're seeing here? Is it like, because for a perspective of like needing a village to succeed, your younger generation needs to be higher than the next generation. Are we seeing it's a drastic drop off to the next generation?
So the best way I could say is there are a lot of younger children. They make up almost half the population. But most of the second half of the population, probably 2/3 of that, are older. So there are perhaps only, a dozen or so at most people who are adults but not elderly. So yeah, some hard days for sure, but yeah, obviously that middle group is having to take care of elderly and children at the same time. So it's obviously going to be a stress.
Okay, so from seeing what everyone has kind of divulged of the disparity of like the next generation's technically is gone, but the following generation is bigger. Is counting for
Yeah,
50% of it.
yeah. So from what you can understand, is a lot like that middle generation adults had children, and probably quite a few children.
Mm.
But then they have disappeared, or they're gone now, and the raising of those children, the younger children, have now been left to what few adults remain, and an elderly population.
Okay. Because from
But
Izal's perspective,
yes, there's
she's seeing
definitely going to be a skills gap.
She went because she went in a hole essentially for the whole time she was here, and then met elderly, went into a hole, elderly. So she's trying to figure out what their issue is. And from her perspective, she's just seeing just the resounding, the old saying, the young will take over for them and there won't be any issue. But she literally just saw a well collapse on itself and not know who here could possibly fix that, because there's a generation of teaching that's missing.
Yep.
And Caleb would have had that information as well. It's like there's a generation where no one knows how to fix this shit. Like, we are really hoping that this third generation knows how to solve these problems
or can figure it out.
And from the dwarven perspective, like, that doesn't exist. That is
Yes.
There's always the next generation.
That would be a failure on the elders' part.
And that's what, like, I'm trying to protect from her perspective is, like, that will not work. Because it just won't. If you do that, it's nothing but rebellion. Because that's just what happens.
Yeah. Like, so at this point in time, it's like, sure. You get the sense that here in 10, 15 years, when most of these kids are adults, they'll have a labor force.
Like, and they're all human.
Not a very skilled labor force.
They're all human, so, like, it's going to be a rapid development of decision making. Like,
yeah.
So, all right.
The next couple decades are going to be rough for this place.
It's all just like, I agree. Then, yep. Then you might have had some hardships, but all your humans and the likes are very resilient. You find a way to survive. You adapt. That's what you're all great at doing. And I'm sure this place will be fine afterwards. We'll just find a way to make everything better for you right now. And we'll look forward to the future. I mean, Caleb's got some ideas for that windmill to make sure it keeps moving. And it's reinforced, I'm sure. And Yandre will make sure that the barricades around here, so no one can get through. You got no rat problem, and your well will be as fine as it's ever been. You'll be fine.
Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence. I've set some area out on the floor for you guys to make a bit of bed, but for now, and she starts, like, moving pottage over and starts trying to give you guys some food.
I'm gonna have to take a walk around the town here. I feel a bit queasy from the teleportation.
Okay. Was there anything that you guys wanted to accomplish before your long rest? Okay. Well, it actually seems like now would be the best time for us to go ahead and say that is a wrap for chapter 126.
Woo!
Woo! So, this Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, we should have Black Tower, BTG versus BG3.
There you go.
BTG versus BG3.
I think we're up about 8.
Yeah. So that'll be lots of fun. And then, of course, next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, come back here for the next chapter as we move closer to wrapping up this campaign.
All right. See you on Thursday at 8 o'clock, and then the following Tuesday at 7. Good night, everybody.
Bye.